All right, let's get started here, folks. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It's the weekend. What does that mean? Freaky Fridays. What don't you want to do on a Friday? No nasty red days on a Friday. All right. No going on tilt. No giving your week back. No giving your month back. Nothing like that. Otherwise, you go into the weekend in the worst mood possible and you have to stew on it all weekend. It will totally ruin your Saturday and Sunday. So today we are in defense mode. All right. We're going to be protective of all the profits we've made all week long. All right. That's the one big thing I always talk about on a Friday. You must be careful. Do not go giving your day and your week back. It will absolutely ruin your weekend. And then you'll come back to the screen to Monday, probably still on tilt. Be cautious about that. As always, we're going to get into the charts. If I could ask you now, just smash that like button, do me a favor. I don't have to say it anymore on stream. All right, daily chart. Strong downtrend. All right, blue line, 5-day moving average. All right, like we talk about every single time on stream, holding as resistance between the 5-day and the Bollinger Band on the daily. Weekly low right now was put on in Tuesday. Very, very common. Weekly high was put on in Monday. Very, very common. All right, weekly model. We've not expanded. We have not expanded at all this week from those extremes. That is not so common. So this is our weekly range. This is our weekly bar. This is our weekly range. At no point yet have we expanded our weekly range to the downside or the upside. What does that mean? It's building liquidity. We are building liquidity in this range. Makes a lot of sense, really, doesn't it? When you zoom out and you think this was major support, became resistance, back to support, and currently holding as resistance. And we've got this red line, which is the 2-year long, maybe almost 3-year long trend line, which we broke under, and we backtest stayed heavy. And we haven't backtested it a fourth time yet. So you've got this little move here on the backtest. What's my bias? I don't really have one right now. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell you why. I talked to the stream or to Discord about it last night. If you look at the ETFs, right, rather than the futures, we took the lows yesterday. All right, the QQQ and the SPY. I'm just going to triple check I'm right on this. Yeah, QQQ and SPY both broke the weekly low. So this candle here yesterday, we had divergence. It took the weekly low and traded inside. So you could argue there was a failed breakout there on the ETFs, right? Cash sellers might have got stuck down there yesterday. On top of that, this is giving you some nice edge now. VIX has failed to make a new high during this process, all right? Every day we've dipped lower and lower. Monday, Tuesday, VIX traded inside and inside. So if the VIX is going to fail to make a new high, if the ETFs have made the new low, if the futures haven't made a new low, what do we have? We have major divergence down here. Now, that does not mean it can't break and go lower next week. It doesn't mean that. But that is giving me a clue that maybe selling's a little bit exhausted here. All right, maybe selling's a little bit exhausted here. Why else am I thinking that? Why else I'm thinking that is the size of this pullback. This is almost 14%. The average pullback of this is normally 10, 11%. On the SPY, it's 11% right now. So we've achieved a pretty good pullback here without much of a bounce. So at some point, I'm expecting that bounce to set the lower high, all right, because we haven't still really set a major lower high. Again, it doesn't mean I'm picking bottoms, but what it does mean is, am I interested in a breakout short down here on a Friday? No way. All right. We've had numerous attempts to do it this week and it can't get going. It's going to have to really prove itself to me with some major news for me to think I'm taking a breakout short down there on a Friday. All right. For all the reasons I've just gone over. So hopefully that makes sense. Some edge there. Also, I never use it, but if you want to check the RSI out on a daily or a weekly, or if just go to my Twitter page or X page, I think I did a post last night about it. I might not have put it in there, but let's just grab it here. I've definitely posted it in Discord last night. I never check the RSI normally, but on higher time frames, sometimes it's worth a quick look. All right, here is, oh, you're on the wrong screen. Let's get you on the right screen. Here is the RSI on the daily. Can I make this a bit smaller? Let me pull this up for the people. Come on. There we go. This is a weekly RSI. Last time we dipped down to this level was October 23, and we found a bid off it. We are lower than that low on the RSI right now. So it shows how overextended to the downside we are. It doesn't mean it can't go lower. I want to keep saying that. It doesn't mean it cannot go lower. But the location for the short at lows of week is getting worse and worse with all the divergence starting to play out. All right, with all the divergence. Let's move into the hourly and we can look at this in a bit more detail. All right, here is our hourly. Yesterday, we broke out of this hourly bear flag, didn't we? Finally did it. Back tested supply on Wednesday. Failed. There was your push. Had a chance here to break and go. Couldn't get through that downtrend. Broke down. Washed this level. Came back. And now we're starting to reclaim. All right, we're starting to reclaim. We're starting to see that this might be a failed breakdown after sweeping liquidity and reclaim. If we do, what is that going to set up? Hello. How can we use this liquidity? We can run up here, up here, up here. What do we have up here? PPI high, CPI high, back test of supply. All those things are possible. Now, I don't know if it's going to do it today. It might never do it. But the possibility is that if we're going to hold these levels here, or maybe a dip down under here, a little shake and bake, this is possible. There is resting liquidity there for it to go for. As you can see, it's broken that strong downtrend we've been holding all week as well. All right, so on the hourly, it is possible. Now, technically, I would say we're not technically bullish until we get above sort of 600s, 625, 600s. If we get a push above that level, acceptance and a hold, we can look for 7 and 8. And if we get acceptance above that, we can keep going. All right, what would that mean? That would mean probably a short covering squeeze more than necessarily a buying rally. All right, so this level today would be key, 620. Base over 620, breakout pullback over 620, definitely acceptance above. Then we're looking for that move towards 800s, acceptance over that. We're going to try and drive upside. Failed breakout there, sellers come back in and we come back downside into what? Into a giant range, which is all we're in. So this week, we broke down, we rotated, 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 rotated. We're still in possible rotation. All right, until we're fully outside of this range, there's no full trend. All right, we're just building and building and building liquidity. Zooming in on that onto a 5-minute, just have a look at what we did yesterday. All right, failure off PPI high, drip down, double bottom, doesn't take the low. All right, key thing, doesn't take the low. Again, QQQ took weekly lows there. Big divergence there. Where did we come into? What was the level we called all of yesterday? If we're going to fade, where are we going to fade down to? This blue box been here all week. 200 to 140. Dipped into sub 200, found a bid, double bottom W, and we go upside overnight now. This is an RBS, isn't it? RBS. All right. Resistance, 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 support, support. Big level here, sort of just sub 400, I'd say, sort of around 390s down to, I don't know, 350, 360. All right, so this is a big level. If we're able to hold this level, all right, maybe we wash London and put in some form of bullish pattern, maybe then we're looking for that move to PPI. It might want to trap underneath and reclaim and go. Also a possibility. And the last thing is, if it's going to use this liquidity and just slowly walk back down towards this lows. Also possible. I'm not fully thinking bullish today. I'm not saying that the short's out of the question, but the short for me, I'd rather be in a counter, on a rotational short, I should say, back down to here if it's going to reject, rather than a new money short down here. New money short down here is asking to get whacked, in my opinion, unless we have a major news event. Unless there's new panic and new fear in the market. All right, so ideally, I would like a flush down into either Asia London high and a hold, London and Asia low and a hold, or a trap beneath and a hold. Those would be the nicest moves for me today, I would think. Especially if we get a short covering rally into Friday. Remember, we've got Data coming next week. You've got Fed announcements next week, all these things. But the major trend has been to the downside. But, okay, going into the lower time frame chart, what are we doing this morning? Got to get through this quick. What are we doing this morning? Here's PDC. This is gapping up. So, gap and go, possible. Failure under here, gap fill. I'm not thinking short until we get underneath these levels and start to really show itself. Otherwise, I'm really thinking, how low can we go for me to buy it and bid it back up for a gap and go? That's what I'd like to see this morning, right, to make that clear. VIX, gapping down. So we got alignment there. VIX gapping down, again, failing to make new highs this week, gapping down towards previous day low. We can have a quick look at the MAG. They should all be gapping up. Apple gapping up. So previous day low was at 208. Previous day closed 209.66. Currently trading 211. Nice big gap up. Microsoft gapping up inside its weekly range, but it is gapping up. The key level on Microsoft is going to be 385.50, somewhere around there. Breakout above that, and it's go time. Apple finally has found a bid. All right, gapping up as well. Again, inside its range. We're gapping up on all markets, but we're inside weekly range. Google gapping up inside weekly range. Meta gapping up inside weekly range. You're going to get the point here. Nvidia gapping up outside weekly range. Outside weekly range. Nvidia is breaking out. All right, Nvidia breaking out of the weekly range right now. Tesla gapping up inside weekly range. So that gives you an idea of where we are in the market. Hopefully that makes sense to you all. All right, so ideally, I'm going to repeat, ideally today for me, big morning flush, shake out all the bulls up here who get trapped. Ideally, I don't want to buy here. I'd love it to do some form of trap here just because the RR at this point becomes like this. All right, and that means I can hold a runner for this move or even up there if it really wants to get going today. If we are just going to open up and do this, I'm probably going to do nothing. All right, I'm probably going to do nothing at that point because if we zoom out, we're just inside all this action. Look how many times we've been stuck here, stuck here, stuck here, stuck here, stuck here. Zoom along. Going to stop me drawing now, isn't it? Stuck here, stuck here, stuck here. You get the point. Stuck here. If we just get stuck into this 400 range, this becomes a no trade location for me. All right, I'm not going to get chopped up like all these people have all week long. I would rather not take a trade, sit here, have a nice chat with you, and go into my weekend thinking, well, I avoided the mess. All right, so we either get one of those moves, break out and hold, or big flush moment and soak, and I can think about it, or like the last one is a breakdown, failure, or a rotation back towards the low or back towards the gap fill. All right, that's what I'm looking at. That's it. Nothing more than that. Keeping it simple. 2 or 3 trades on the table here. Again, gonna have to wait for the open, see what we do at the open as we start to trade into the Globex high right now, into that orange box or golden box, which is the Globex high. Let's get through some good mornings then. See who's here on stream. Hopefully you've all had a fantastic week. Good morning, Exister, Trentry, Clint, Miguel, Radar, Jeff, Christie, Vince, Marek, DJ Noah, Julian, Indicator, Mr. Slim, Ramus, Mindful Matters, The Redline, Leron, Dopamine, Jake from State Farm, Peter Curry, Cat, JD Florida Man, sorry about that, can get their words out, Brad, Arturo, Stephen W, Andrew G, Ironclad, and Coop, and Calypso. Good morning, everybody. Right, so you got just over a minute to the open. Just ask yourself here, are you in a fit state to be trading today? All right, have you eaten enough, drunk enough, slept enough? Make sure you haven't had a fight with anyone. Good morning, Derek. Any of those things, you should be risk off. All right, you don't need to trade every day. We do this for freedom. That doesn't just include profits. That includes having the ability to decide when we do and don't work. So just be smart with that as we're drifting down into these levels. Filthy glasses this morning. Morning, TR. Right, having a quick look at the book. There is a decent buy down at 150. That's a long, long way away. Long, long way away. 200 lot right down at 150. If we get a major scare in the market, it is possible we sell off this morning, of course, like we have all week. But I'd much rather see that morning flush, trap the shorts. If shorts have been trapped for CPI, PPI, God, these look so bad, then we can have a nice trade. Back upside. Try not to be too biased, right? Letting this shake out in towards those London and Asia lows. Like I said, all of the mag gapping up. You can see it green across the board right now. Very, very, very green on the mag. So into that orange level, finding a dip there so far. Right, way too early for me to be pulling a trigger right now. Maybe we get going though. It likes that London Asia so far, doesn't it? Let's see. I would really, really like this to come much, much deeper. Watching ES and SPY as well. Of course, SPY right at its VWAP right now. ES not quite there yet. QQQ at its VWAP. Let's do the morning open before I forget, because we all know I forget to do this. Here we go, right here. We can have a look at the mag. Apple 1% up, Microsoft 0.5% up, Amazon 1.80% up, Google over 0.5% up, Meta over 2% up, Nvidia 2.75% up, Tesla 2.95% up, now 3% up. You can see what I'm talking about. The mag are green today. All right, opening drive, very, very bullish. Held that overnight. Maybe missed it here, but very, very early in the day still. Morning, BU. So holding that overnight high for now. I didn't want to pull the trigger at the open. We can just be patient here, not missing anything. Very, very open. 90 seconds into the day. See if they flush this opening drive up and then try and recatch it or not. And this looks like it's in a hurry right now, though, doesn't it? It's a big opening drive, that. 60 points in the first 2 minutes. Hopefully, we get a little bit stuck up here and come back down. We can see what happens. ES lagging, yeah. ES drifting back down towards its VWAP. Tech, the strongest sector again today. All right, tech. Remember, tech sold off the most, so it's likely to rebound the hardest when it's ready. All right, Trump talking. Fantastic. Why would you talk at the open? It's the whole reason we don't have news at the open is for this reason. Trump already talking, saying Schumer is doing the right thing. Congratulations to Schumer for doing the right thing. The big tax cuts, LA, the fire, the debt ceiling bill, and much more coming. It's on Truth Social. So everything we don't want from a technical point of view at the open is news. There's a reason news comes before the open and 15 and 30 minutes after the open. We don't want anything moving the market when the imbalances are coming out. All right. Fed are always quiet so that the banks can get through their imbalances first. So 65-point drive up here so far. Just waiting again. Haven't taken anything yet. ES lagging behind, like someone pointed out in chat. Forget who said it. Coming back down towards its VWAP. The spiders have already rejected their VWAP. QQQ's holding the VWAP. So we have divergence in the tape here. ES making a new low in the New York session, while the NQ was looking to make a new high in the session. All right, so letting this play out. I am not going to get trapped on a Friday. So one thing I'm determined not to do on a Friday is to get myself caught and trapped. Spiders comfortably underneath their VWAP right now. ES hasn't quite tapped it, but it's come close a few times. NQ very, very, very strong here. Waiting to see if, wow, there you go. I was saying, could see it building in the tape. So taking out the highs now. ES finding a bid just in front of its VWAP. This is wild the way this is moving right now. It needs to settle down. Needs to settle down here. These are big old candles. What's your ATR? 50+ point candles here. Watch your ATR. Let this settle down. It's in a hurry to go upside right now. You can see it. Where are we going to go if we can get up there? PPI. I really wanted this morning dip. I would have loved it down into the blue. We said orange might hold, but just this straight flag basically here. Breakout. No pullback yet for us to think about entering. So just waiting. Still very early in the day. We don't even have our 5-minute opening range, let alone a 15 or anything else. But ES now trying to drive up. So it tried to find a bid in front of VWAP. It's coming back up towards It's some of its key levels right here, right now, where it got stuck in the pre-market. VIX having a flush, trading back down towards previous day low. Again, letting this shake out. Yeah, consumer sentiment at 10 o'clock, Andrew. Yeah, be very good reminder there. Consumer sentiment, 10 o'clock. So almost a 100-point range on the day already. Not getting that deep flush at the open that we wanted, unfortunately. In a straight old squeeze. So 5-minute opening range now set. So you have your 5-minute bar. And this is the high of that 5-minute bar, which we're starting to break out from now. Trump's still talking. I had a good and productive discussion with Putin. This is going to ruin my ability to trade if he's going to start talking at the opens. Someone's got to tell him you can't be doing that. So straight squeeze up. ES about to take out its pre-market high here as well. We need dips down here. We cannot, if this is going to go straight, he's still talking, there's a good chance that Ukraine war will come to an end. He needs to stop. What a moron. I don't mind that he talks, but talking at the open is simply stupid. Absolutely stupid. So ES not quite taking out his pre-market high yet. Still has room to go. Straight squeeze here, extended from flow zones. I can move this to a 1 minute. Extended away from everything right now. Can't be buying this into that PPI high. My trading view's frozen. There we go. So 100 points off that morning dip into Globex so far. What is going on here, trading view? Anyone else having this issue? Just me? Can't get any of my indicators on right now. Struggling with everything right now, trading view. All right, here comes the PPI high. I'm just going to get really frustrated here. I can feel it already. Trading view failing me. Trump talking. None of my indicators on. Flipping nightmare. Sorry, folks. Nothing I can do. Tech issues again. I'm not going short from 600. You're guessing a top if you're doing that. Even if it works out, it's not something I'd be looking to do. Why is this not working? There we go. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. All right, PPI tapped there. Tapped and taken. The one thing. Nice, Peter. Yeah, very nice. Finally getting a drift back down here. So let's see if we build out some form of structure here. But the low-hanging fruit's already gone. That move into red, that move into PPI. What a flipping nightmare. What you said, baby, might be very, very short-lived here. Well done. You made like a few points on it. Going counter trend. You're guessing a top. Even if it works for you, you are building a bad habit there. We do not build bad habits. Of picking tops is exactly how you get blown up. We're waiting to see if we pull back, maybe create some form of RBS level, maybe into some form of imbalance. But as, like I said, low-hanging fruit, unfortunately, gone. Having technical issues all the way up while we went for that squeeze. Maybe we can look for a pullback into sub 525 or something and see how we go here. Looks like this just wants to keep going right now. It's just not willing to build much structure out. Feels like it's in a little bit of a hurry. Sellers up 200 lot at 640. Want to see a dip down here and a soak, like some form of creation of this kind of move if we're going to go for a continuation higher. Acceptance over here as well possible. We said that PPI level, low hanging fruit level. I know, Peter. I know. It's been an absolute nightmare. I don't know. What did I do to deserve it? What did I do to deserve it? So let's see if we can get something, some form of pullback here. MAG, very, very strong. Like I said, low-hanging fruit was the PPI, so you should have taken profit here. If you managed to get that, very quick, take some profit into PPI. See if we reload here, acceptance above, and then we can think about that CPI move if we're really going to get going. And there's more liquidity, 635, and then all those stops we kept talking about on the hourly charts the last few days, all these guys here and these guys here, they're all there to get taken if we're going to have that counter trend squeeze up play kind of today. All sat there to get taken if we're going to do it. Big if. That's where they are. Are we going to build some form of flag here or drift into that 5-minute imbalance? Let's have a look. VIX under previous day low. Very, very good. We'd like us to build out some form of sort of inverse head and shoulder or flag or something here. Down towards this level would be really good, but I don't know if we're going to get down that far. Just having to wait now and see, and then see if we put in a bullish structure, because it was a 150-point drive. You can do it either way, trend tree. Malaysians would do it on bodies. I like doing it on wicks. But you can do it either way. Malaysian SNR would do it on bodies, technically. But I've always done it on wicks. It's just how I've done it. The big drive up, taking that PPI. ES nowhere near its PPI, I don't think yet. So relative weakness there still. See if let's see if the VIX rejects previous day low and stays heavy here. It is in a sort of a demand pool, looking to see if the market finds a bid. Oh, I'm definitely frustrated. I've got to watch this now. Don't want to be frustrated on a Friday. Definitely feel a little bit of tilt straight away from TradingView being funny and Trump ruining my ability to get in on that. Blabbering away at the open. Find that it's annoying because it's exactly what the Fed and the market make sure doesn't happen. We do not allow news at the open for that exact reason. It is before the open or 15 and 30 minutes after the open so that we can create some structure and play off it. Would like this deeper if it will, but looks like we're going to just build a flag here to try and go. That's what it looks like it's attempting to do. Maybe have to wait till 10 o'clock now in that news. Watching here. If it does the flag or inverse head and shoulder, I'll think about getting involved here. Where are we going to look for if we can go? Previous day high, maybe? ES making a new high there. NQ not. Divergence in the tape here. Flow zone starting to catch up. Do we build out a flag for a squeeze here? Spoofer is back. Of course he is. At 600. 900 lot, lifted it, put it back on. Spoofer's back. So watching this to see if they build this out, this flag or inverted head and shoulder. Just waiting right now. I want to see some momentum coming to this. If we're going to go, we've got to go. Here we go. Nope. Instantly pull back. And we're going to have another attempt here. ES making new high. We should get going here in the market, really. If ES is going to get going, we should get going here. Come on, market. Are we going to go? Holding flow zones nicely. Are we going to go? Needs to break out of a new high, because failure to do that will be more divergence between the Qs and the ES. ES getting very close to previous day high already. We should be moving here, right? ES is already all the way up into this. We should be moving here on the Qs. This is what we're looking for. We need to get going here on the Qs. We need to get going. Come on. Really shouldn't be this hard. VIX new low of day, ES new high of day, Q's getting stuck. It really should not be this hard here. That's not what you want to see. Hopefully they absorb this. This is not what you want to see into this block. Big, big divergence. ES back into that 5,600. Big level up there. It has the ability to go and sweep sort of 604 and then SPY to go to previous day high, which is SPY's getting right into right now. I want to see the market absorb this on the Qs and make a new high here. Nope. Divergence continues. Come on. See if they can build this out for an inverse head and shoulders look here and do a cleaner move through PPI. My worry is it's had enough time to go and do it and it hasn't done it, and that is not a good look. My Ninja Trader now frozen, completely frozen. Anyone else have that? I had no data there, and then it just flipped back on. Oh my gosh. I'm now wondering if I've got internet problems, if that's why TradingView is acting funny. Hope not. Did the stream freeze? Out of interest, did the stream freeze? You'd know if it got stuck. That would no. Okay, so it's a data issue then. That means that's Tradeovate and CME data issue I'm having. Just another day of nonsense for Alex with tech issues. This should still be moving higher right now. This should still be looking to take out the high right now. Failure to take out that high will cause a flush. So we're looking for this to take out the high here. ES looking good, VIX looking weak, everything's lining up well. It's just whether the Qs are going to do it and stop falling around. A breakout here through high of day should allow the market to really start pushing. It's building out. That last flush down got absorbed again off the flow zones. The problem is if we keep going sideways too long, it needs a break of 600, and we need ES to break out. Here it goes. ES is starting to break. Is the Q going to follow? Are the Qs going to follow? Here we go. This is looking a little bit better now. Can we start to get going here? Please, market. Please just break out and go. I'm so sick of like messing around this morning with my tech issues. Failure again. Come on. Come on. Up you go. There we go. Beautiful. Seeing if we can get up towards CPI, previous day high, all those levels. Just trailing now. Like we said, low-hanging fruit was PPI, so I want to be cautious of that because we keep getting stuck up here. Yeah, 10 a.m. we have consumer sentiment. What I want to be careful of is the same thing we talk about every day. This is starting to get going now. Be careful of this if it needs to wash this and go. It should not be struggling this much here, but ES is at a supply plot as well. It happened on Ninja though. I don't mind too much when it happens on TradingView. I do mind when it happens on Ninja. I've had it before where it's frozen for like 30 seconds and it's come back on and it's gone right through my stop and not filled it, and then I've had to manually close out. That's not what happened today. I'm up small green today, just so you know. I'm up small green here. Trading 3D. Only 3 of my accounts linked right now. Took payout yesterday. If you didn't know, from Apex, took some payouts yesterday. I was really impressed. I put in a payout request on Wednesday evening. I got confirmed Thursday morning, and then I had the email from Plane yesterday at the close. That's about the fastest I've ever seen it from Apex. Yeah, plugged in, TR. I'm plugged in. Yeah. So I was impressed from Apex. It used to take weeks to even get a reply. That said, Plane did say it would take up to 7 days or something for me to get my money. But as long as it's coming, I don't care. Right? As long as that money's coming, I don't care. So I'm moving accounts now. I'm going to back off for a minute because I'm definitely can feel a little bit of tilt in me from what happened there the first 20 minutes. So just back off. Know myself too well. Tech issues are always a massive, massive factor in my tilt. If I have a tech issue, it's a massive factor. But so far, the plan working out is unfortunate. This happened so quick. Maybe annoyed with myself for not grabbing that there. That buy signal was it. Bang, off to the races, and PPI low-hanging fruit. Like I said, I'm very cautious of this. They might want to come and dip this, and then we can think about that later in the day. This trend line here, asking to get swept. Especially now that we've taken that PPI level. I'm going to peep the hourly chart and the 4-hour chart here as well. Let's just have a look. This chart right here. 4-hour, very bullish. If we're going to reprice that old 4-hour back to backtest, that old trend would be 468. I'm going to remember that. 468 is probably, yeah, right aligned with current point of control. And this is the anchor. By the way, this green line, all right, this is an anchored VWAP. I've done off, not the low, but this candle here, the 3 o'clock candle that we absorbed, because that's definitely where buyers came in and shorts got stuck. So I have anchored that for now, having a look at that on the high time frame. Yeah, tilty. I can feel that I'm tilty. I haven't actioned anything bad or anything like that, but I can feel it in me. So just backing off here for a minute. Exister, I got denied on the first payout, going to request my second one here next week. Yeah, I got denied on one of the accounts yesterday as well. Done my calculate on a few accounts. Had done the 30% calculation wrong. So one of them I need to make here. I need to make a little bit more money. So I'm not up enough. I thought I was up enough and I'm not. One of them I need to make a lot more money, but I already knew that. I had one day where I made big money on 150K. So I'm up on that 150K, $10,000 right now, and I need to get that up to 18,000 before I can take a payout. But my plan is just to keep trading it normally, $1,000 to $2,000 a day on it, and then take the 3K. And then what I might do is size down and just go for five $50 days. Yeah, and then take another 3K and do the same again and another 3K and same again, another 3K, and then withdraw it all out on that. I think it's the 4th one now, is it? 4th or 5th, you can withdraw it all out. Just don't go on tilt when they deny you. I did that last year. I had 60K denied, and I went on tilt because I got so pissed off. Just don't do that. Just remember, don't change anything. Whatever you've done wrong, like for me, All it is where I've made too much money and haven't realized on one trade. Because I always calculate it as 33%, and it's not. It's 30% fixed now. So that's the one thing. But you'll be fine, Exister. Just take your time with it. All right, new highs again here on ES. ES so strong. We'd like to see that dip down on the NQ, that signature dip. When we build the liquidity like this, I'd like to see it get washed and maybe hold it. We have like a 5-minute imbalance from that opening drive down here. You can see it on this chart here. Let's put it on this chart here. All right, this right here, 5-minute imbalance, and we have an old RBS level here. So we can put this gray if you want. I'm interested in how we act in that level, especially if we sweep it and react straight away. Especially with this guy here, right? Remember, this is an RBS. So anywhere into here, if we start putting in bullish structure, I'm interested. If we start fading underneath that, fading underneath New York Open, I think longs are gone for the day, right? Because at that point, we would have swept a low-hanging fruit right here. If we get heavy under here, we're coming back into that. So I'm not touching it anywhere under here, not touching it. We'll need to hold this level for me to have any interest. And ideally, just like one giant candle, wick in and get absorbed. Spiders over PDH, now back testing PDH here to see if they can hold it. We have divergence in the market between the ETFs and the futures right now. Right, ETFs are all over their previous day highs. All over their previous day highs. Let's do a VWAP off the open as well. So we have one set right here. All right, this is our New York VWAP. We're going to do this. There's a little bit darker green here. There we go. All right, let's do your New York VWAP. Remember, low-hanging fruit's gone. PPI high. I'm actually going to delete that now that it's gone. We've taken the liquidity off that. So next up, previous day high, previous week low. I think this one here, yeah, it is. That's CPI high, that white line up there that we left on Wednesday. So if you were the guy guessing the tops, 600, well done. You got all of a pullback to get squeezed out again. This is why we don't guess tops. It is not worth the headache of guessing a top. It really isn't. You're asking for pain. Let the market tell you what it wants to do and join it. Trading like a champ with Apex. More money, more problems. Yeah, exactly, Coop. Exactly. Growing the 150s very nicely. I've been growing some 50Ks recently as well, so I can just... Actually, I didn't think I'd enjoy the 50Ks. I thought I'd just size up and enjoy the 150Ks, but I'm actually quite like the 50Ks once you get over that buffer. Being able to set and forget a trade without the trailing drawdown, for me, is what trading should be like. And the 50Ks are way easier to get to that point. So mixing and matching them at the moment. Spent 2 months getting my 100K accounts to where they are. Had to not trade for a day or so to get my mind back to normal. Oh, that's very good though, Exister. That you've gradually built them up. That's the same as me. I gradually build them up. What I've been doing is not linking them when they're under the buffer, gradually building them up. And once I get them over the buffer, I don't mind linking them then, because I can put the trade on, leave it on, put my stop, break even once it starts going in my favor, leave the trade to try and get to where I want to go. If it doesn't get there, it doesn't matter. You don't get punished for it. That's the nice thing. So consistency rule, take your biggest day, yeah, and just divide it by 0.3. And that will show you what you need to make on that account. And that's the problem. I was effectively doing it by 0.33. I was doing the maths quick in my head, timesing my biggest day as a third, and that's not quite right. What do I mean by building them up to get the buffer in? Coming towards this imbalance now, guys. So with the 50K accounts, you need to make $2,500, right? At $2,500 and over, the trailing drawdown goes away, right? If you're trading Apex, the trading drawdown goes away. Same if you're trading Tradeify on the advanced accounts, anything with a trading drawdown. Once that trailing drawdown goes away, you can effectively put a trade on and just leave it. You don't have to worry about moving your stop up to lock in profits. You can leave it. You can set your profit target at wherever that liquidity level is and leave your stop in and not worry if it goes all the way up, misses your target and comes all the way back down and stops you out break even. It doesn't, that money that you haven't made doesn't matter. Whereas when you have the trail drawdown, here's the news, consumer sentiment, all the way back to that 9:30 open print here. Just letting this shake out here for a bit. All right, so we took that PPI, low-hanging fruit, built that liquidity here, bulls got trapped, running them now into the overnight level, finding a soak there, letting this do what it wants. The book is completely cleared out here. The only guy on the book right now is at 400 and 150. Yeah, that was nasty, real nasty on consumer sentiment. Let's see if this is it, though. If they absorb this and go all the way back upside and trap enough shorts, then we get that continuation higher. If they don't, like I said, I'm not touching this long if we start failing and staying heavy underneath the morning print. Let's see what we've got here. Michigan sentiment, 57.9 versus 63. Inflation, 4.9% versus 4.3. So 1 year inflation, hot. 5 year inflation, 3.9% versus 3.4%. 5 year inflation, hot as well. So inflation coming in hot. Consumer sentiment, confidence basically in the market coming in cool. Go figure. Go figure. So let's just see now. If we absorb this, remember, we did not close underneath this 5-minute imbalance yet. If we absorb this and short started entering down here, they will get stuck. If we get under here, we can think about a continuation lower. Right now, I'm not touching anything. And we said this is always the signature. When it starts to do this, it's always asking for these guys to get swept. That was a very deep sweep all the way back down. It's taken out, low of day. Remember, New York open or New York low was right here. If we stay heavy under that, we're going to start rolling and rotating. That was a wicked, wicked print, that. I'll say that much. That was a wicked and nasty print. So inflation data coming in hot. Books starting to have some participants coming back in. Still very thin right now. Still got that buyer at 400 and a buyer down at 150. I tell you what, VIX had a big old swipe there. We were breaking under previous day low, dripping down, and then it just bid straight up. So let's see if it gets stuck here at supply on the VIX. ES holding its VWAP right now, as is the NQ. SPY back to its VWAP. I would not totally be surprised to see them trap and go back upside here. I'm not saying to take it. I'm just saying it wouldn't fully surprise me to see them do that on a day like today. Freaky Friday. Still inside the range. We tapped into old point of control there, or current point of control. Like we said, if we're going to rebalance, this H4 just rebalanced. If I go to an H4, you'll see what I mean. We just rebalanced that last H4 candle and we're finding a bid. We can go and attack up here now. We talked about this when I looked at the H4, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, and I said it might want to rebalance. It's what it's starting to do here. So it still has the chance to bid upside here on the H4. Too early right now to think about a long, and I'm not going to short this first bounce either. I'm going to let this shake out. Just midpoint of the range right here. Here's your, if we're going to do an initial balance, this is it right now. Basically midpoint here. I don't want to get trapped like we talked about earlier in the session. This is a level that we've been at numerous times this week. Chopping and chopping and chopping is not a level I really want to participate in. Mag still all holding on. All right, Apple 1% up, Microsoft 1% up, Amazon over 1% up, Google just under 0.5% up, Meta 1.25% up, Nvidia 3.37% up, Tesla 0.2% up. Mag still holding strong. ES finding a really strong bid there and reclaiming all the way back up through VWAP now. If shorts got trapped down there on that flush, I'm telling you, this will be the move. All the way back up, use their liquidity to go higher. But how we act here into flow zones and into 550, kind of where we broke down from, the VWAP, this is going to be key. Reclaim this like we talked about. This, we just talked about this before it happens. This is a very nasty version of it, but if it gets back up here, everyone who took the short down here is going to be in pain. Doesn't mean it can't reject here. It still has a chance to reject here and set a lower high for now on the lower time frame. Just letting this do its thing for a minute. Let's see if there's any more news coming here. So decision time here. SBR kind of level. Reject that, new lows. Reclaim that, probably going for new highs with shorts trap. Feels like shorts are trapped to me. That's exactly what it feels like right now, but too early right now to pull a trigger. That reclaim strong off those lows. Already 100 points up off that low print. We start to build out here. Oh my days, shorts are going to get really, really hurt. Looking at the selling, still very thin here. A bit of selling into 550s and not much else. Looking squeezy here. I'm in very small size in case this wants to start getting going. As we've reclaimed that imbalance, beautiful. Into the next imbalance, beautiful. Moving my stop up just in case they slam this in this imbalance, but we look good for that inverse head and shoulders that we talked about. That trap. Shorts are absolutely cooked here like we talked about. Let's go. Let's go. Moving my stop up. Oh my God, what a beautiful day. Oh my God, I'm going to have to lock in soon. I'm making too much money here. This is a problem. Making too much money. All right, we can rejoin this if it starts to build out here. So if you didn't catch this, just wait now. Let it build out the right shoulder, all right? Let it build out. This washed the bulls. This trapped the shorts. This now can retrap shorts and we can go and take out highs, all right? Beautiful. I had to close that because I'd made too much money. I'm so aware of the 30% rule now. Flipping nightmare. Flipping nightmare, mate. That was all called, again, beforehand. We talked about that whole thing before it happened. Go back and rewind the video. Did I expect it to come all the way down here? No. I probably expected this to do something like that, if I'm honest. Just into the imbalance. But no closure. Notice it was a wick. No closure underneath the imbalance. So do we build out liquidity here? Somewhere in here, it would be nice if we flip this and find a bid here. It would be really nice. This here, this is where shorts got stuck. If it can hold that and find a bid, it would be very nice. Like I said, out now, just waiting. Let it do what it wants for a minute. ES rejecting 5,600 again, whole number. You don't have to worry about those rules. Yeah, unfortunately, I do. I never really cared about them until I got denied one payout yesterday. I was like, oof, oof, oof. Yeah, we could sell. We can do both things right now. We're in a fib of this range. So golden zone being protected now. If they protect this, I'll think about a rebuy back up, especially here. Right, otherwise I'm hands off. All right, I took this to here. That's fine. Now just waiting to see if we hold. In a range. I'm going to remind us all because I haven't said it today. We're still in a range. We're inside the daily. We're inside the weekly. We're inside the initial balance. We're inside everything. We just have a quick peek at the daily. I probably haven't made this clear enough. Here's our daily. All right. Something is going to give. Either these shorts are going to get wrecked or these bulls are going to get wrecked. At some point, something is going to give on this daily. If you had a TTM squeeze, I'd imagine it's big red and it's going to start doing this at some point. And if shorts get squeezed, we go upside. If they fake it, we go back down. All right. Probably didn't talk about that kind of pattern on the daily enough. Well, what I would say, H4 rebalanced already. H4 already did that rebalance. Now we just wait. Wait. So far, trapped in 184-point range. That's the morning session. Back down to data lows, you're saying, to this, consumer sentiment lows. Possible. It's possible. I'm not convinced of it yet. If we get down there, I'll react. But right now, we're basically midpoint, and we're in that old 5-minute imbalance, and we're holding it. Not saying that's not possible, though. Certainly possible there, Rock. My bias is sort of upside on the day for a bit of squeeze relief. A bit of short-term relief is what I was thinking today. Mainly for everything I went over on in the morning. If I was a short seller, you've been in the money 3-4 weeks. 3-4 weeks. You've taken out the weekly lows on the ETFs. You're underneath the daily trend line. You're underneath the 200 daily SMA. You've got 14% down on the Qs, almost 11% down on the SPY. Normal pullback range is 10 to 11% for a pullback. We're oversold on the VIX on a weekly. I'm talking about weekly. I don't care about the low time frame on a weekly. We're oversold on the RSI on a weekly. The VIX has divergence to the markets. The ETFs have divergence to the markets. And you got FOMC next week. What am I doing? I'm covering. If not all, I'm covering a lot of my money. If I'm up this big, you're up 2,000 odd points, I am starting to cover because we're starting to go sideways. If I was a short seller, I could think I can always add back on that pump up if it's going to go. But I'd be starting to trim my position into the weekend now. I could be wrong here. Maybe we just go and make fresh new lows today and take everyone out. It is possible. That print was very, very hot from consumer sentiment. But there's a lot in the market. I was saying to my team yesterday, all right, I went through all of this last night. One of the advantages being in the room. Last night, we went over all the reasons why I don't like shorts at the lows, all right, right now, why we're so overextended, even if we start breaking down. The only way I would like it is if there was a big news piece. Now, possibly consumer sentiment is enough to do it with a hot print like that. Yeah. Totally, Rock. Yeah, low-hanging fruit. I get what you're saying. Totally get what you're saying. Yeah, and also I'm interested, what are the Fed going to do next week? What are the Fed going to do next week? Do we get like a bigger rate cut out the blue because they're worried now that inflation's starting to tick up, that everything's starting to get out of control? Anyone saying that tariffs don't affect inflation is, completely stupid, which is what they've been trying to say. But that's the same way as they said inflation was transitory and then they take it all back. Yeah, I think we cut. And I think we cut more aggressive than 2 cuts this year because I think they're going to need to as some form of stimulant. You might be right here. Looks like we're going back for those data lows. This is the downtrend, this red line that we broke out from, that we've had all week. This is the RBS level. So that's RBS 1, let's call it. And this is RBS 2. So I'm interested in buys in these levels. Probably not in that first level anymore. But those are the areas where I'm interested in buying the market today. Why? I can go over why. Because yesterday it was resistance. We broke down. Remember I said we had divergence down here. We got above. It becomes support. That's the main level I'm interested in today. If we can get down sub 400 in thinking about buying down there if there's a trap. If we're going to just wash all the way down there, not put in any bullish patterns, then I'm not going to buy it. You look like you might be right there. We might be coming for those data lows. Back to VWAP here on the ES. Spiders already underneath the VWAP. NQ well underneath the VWAP. QQQ well underneath the VWAP. VIX trying to gain a bid here. So buyers failed to come in at that key level and hold the market up. It had a chance here. It needed to build sideways here, and it's failed all the way back down into this imbalance now. 5-minute imbalance. I'm just leaving this alone, like I said, for now. Let it shake out. Let it shake out. 2 decent trades today. Not bad considering it's just range rotation so far. No trend set yet on the day, remember. 15 minutes left until that initial balance set. We are not setting a trend on the day yet. We still have higher highs and higher lows on the H1. Remember the H1 can set another higher high, higher low here. If this was the pivot and this was the break, all right, here's your higher high, higher low, higher high. It can set a higher low anywhere in here and go back up. If it fails that, we go back down. All right, that's where buyers get trapped up here. This is why I'm saying I'm interested in participating as a buyer in and around this level if it can show me something. I'm interested in potentially participating as a seller if we break under, reject this kind of level for that move back down. So this level here, I would say, basically 450 down to 370 is a key level for me. How we operate in that zone becomes key. Yeah, like Coop said, smash that like button, folks. Giving you everything here for free. Hey, Mr. Spoofer's back. 1,000 in the tape. Sitting at 462. Let's see if he gets filled. He's trying to protect it at 462. Let's see if he's actually willing to get filled here, or if he moves it along, if he's trying to force the market to bid up, or if he pulls it and moves it down, then he's going to try and use it as a magnet to go lower. Let's just have a look. He's been pretty annoying for the last couple of weeks, hasn't he? What an annoying person. It's crazy that you can spoof every single day. He must be spoofing 40, 50 times a day with that size. It's so obvious it's the same guy. And no one's doing anything about it. You want to know what market manipulation is? That's literally it. People could talk about it all the time, but that's actually it. Spoofing with 1,000 lot is actually it. So he's right here at 460 right now. One of his cronies. It wouldn't surprise me, mate. It would not surprise me. What's Bitcoin doing today? It's still going up. See, that was the other divergence. Bitcoin started to rally off that buy zone in 70s. I would have liked it a bit cheaper. And it started to rally. 1,800 points up today. That can also be a divergence. If that starts making its way back upside, might be the turn of sentiment for the market next week. So he's still on the tape. He's there at 460. I don't want to trade around him. I want to see what he does. Looks like he's trying to drag the market down to him right now. I'd say in this time frame, technically, we're in a sell because we couldn't reclaim this. Break, retest. They ended up selling this when they could have trapped. They will need a breakdown here for continuation. At this point, it becomes dangerous, though, because this is where buyers have shown up in these two levels. It's very, very tricky and choppy today. Again, we expect it because we are having inside bars on dailies and weeklies. Inside bars. If we start letting it go today, where can we go? Well, we have gap fill potential all the way down here. Remember, we've gapped up. We had the chance to gap and go. If it can't hold these levels, gap fill potential becomes possible. I'm not looking for a short until we're considerably under this, I don't think. I'd rather sit it out. It would have to become very, very clear that this market wants to do a gap fill for me to join in. We are overextended to the downside, so don't love shorts unless it's absolutely clear. I think the chance of a short squeeze is getting bigger and bigger and bigger every day, basically. So ES holding its VWAP for now. SPY under the VWAP. QQQ under the VWAP. MAG still looking okay. Tesla 1% up. Nvidia 3.31% up. Meta 1.45% up. Google 1/3% up. Amazon 1% up. Microsoft 2/3% up. And Apple still green, 1/4% up. They've given a little bit back, but they're all still green. If these all start going green to red, problematic. Thank you, Marek. Every single week, Marek's so kind with the super chat and the gifting. Gold broke 3,000, did it? Where's the Dixie then? 103s. Yeah, that is Asia. All right, Asia continues to bid the gold up, losing complete faith in the American market. It's been doing that for the last 18 plus months, maybe 2 years now. Amazing to see gold up there. Absolutely incredible. At some point in the next 4 years, I'm going to look for a swing short position on gold. I want to see a huge blow off top and the dollar and the American market start to recover. And I'm going to think about a short on gold. Good eyes, Peter. Thank you. I would not have seen that, but I can see it right there on my screen. 3002.7. Yeah, he pulled. He's a, as we would say in England, he is an absolute bellend, that guy. Absolute bellend. Never has any intention of getting filled. All right, so back into the London Asia highs here. This orange box, London Asia highs. Whoever said it on chat, forget who you are. You look good now, doesn't it? It looks good for this move down into here for that data low. You might be right. Remember, this is the downtrend, this red line that we've had all week. All right, I don't normally use trend lines, but it has been respecting it from the high, lower 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 high. All right, those who do Malaysian SNR, this would be a potential reversal point when we come and back test the lower high. These are areas where we consider bidding. So here, here, and here, like I said, these are potential buy zones for traders, which is why the only reason I'm not looking for the short, basically. I don't want to get squeezed. I know there's a lot of different style traders who will be bidding off those. What an idiot that 1,000 lot is. Now he's back on the tape and he's split. Oh, just so you can't see him, in case so you can't see him, he's at 450 and 435 with 500 and 500. 500 and 500, and get, like, no one's going to notice that's definitely not the same person. Hilarious. Full 80s, yeah. I'm going to delete this imbalance. We filled it now. I'm more interested in what we do here. Here, 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 and here. If we get above this, maybe, but I really don't love that with the VWAPs like this, especially with the New York VWAP pointing down. If we start reclaiming that, I either want to buy really cheap on a flush and a W, or I want to buy more expensive on a reclaim for momentum. I don't fancy buying in here. We've had one attempt at that already, and it should have held here. I'd sold here. Should have held here if it was going to squeeze, and it failed to do it. Again, we're in range rotation. We have 7 minutes left till that initial balance is set. Back towards the 500s here. ES holding its VWAP. What could actually be done to stop that guy, Brad? Well, basically, whoever is in charge of the markets, CME and the Fed and people like that, technically, you're not allowed to do what he's doing. You're not allowed to spoof. So technically, if someone was watching him, if they knew who was actually putting that order on the tape, they could technically go and fine him, I guess, for doing it. I don't know if that's ever been done. Has anyone ever been done for spoofing, even though it's illegal? Very hard to prove you're spoofing. I would say this guy's the easiest guy to prove he's spoofing because he's doing it every day with the same size. So just building out the liquidity here. Market being very efficient with its imbalances today. A little bit of liquidity here at sort of 25, 26s. Let's see if it finds a failure above that or if it's going to start initiating a squeeze. Like I said, market's still looking good, very green. ES holding its VWAP. QQQ and SPY about to test their VWAPs now. Jack, you're richer than me if you did that. I'm a bit tilted, but I'm green, so I'm going to call it a day. Yeah, Julian, that's probably how I feel, to be honest. I'm a bit tilted, but green, but I'm starting to regulate my my body a bit now. But yeah, have a good weekend. Look, ending the day green, hopefully ending the week green. It's been a solid green week on stream again. And we had a couple break evens, maybe one small loss on CPI day. Might have taken a couple red trades there, but ended the day green, and another green week in the books. So if we start to hold this potential, again, New York VWAP here, I really want to see this really start to prove. I don't want to get chopped up. I'm going to delete this. I thought I'd just delete that. I don't want to get chopped up. Five green days, Julian. Hey, I love it. I love it. At least half of you on stream now have not smashed that like button. Come on, folks. I don't get why it's so hard. Here every day for free, teaching you, calling out, telling you what I'm looking for and when. Stream's growing every day, and I swear the likes are going down, not up. All right, the 500 lot guy, he just pulled again. All right, he's gone. So let's just let this settle out. Still in a range. IB high, IB low. Lower highs right now since we swept. Remember, PPI was here. Since we swept it, failure of this, big dunk, push back up, failed to reclaim. Lower highs here. Squeeze will be over this. Under this can cause a breakout or a fail breakout. What a messy chart. Talk to my wife and then forget I was drawing for you. All right, so London Asia highs here. Wick here. Remember, this is the downtrend and back test if it comes down. I know that this is a potential buy zone for people. So the only reason I'm not looking for the shorts is because I don't want to get squeezed down there. It doesn't mean that this isn't in a downtrend. It is. It's clearly failed and trapped buyers up here like we talked about. There is your changing character, lower time frame. There's your drive back up. Deep drive back up. That's got to be at least a golden zone drive back up. Hasn't broken structure yet to the downside. So this area, like I talked about here, is where higher time frame buyers will try to absorb it. The reason for that is the H4. Think about the H4 and the H1. Point of control, reminder on the H4. What's the H4 done? Rebalance the last H4 candle. We talked about this before we even got into this new H4 candle. I said it can rebalance down here. If it finds a bid, then we go back upside. So it's the only reason I'm a little concerned about the short today is because we are in areas which are not great areas for short continuations after we've been selling off for weeks and weeks and weeks on end on a Friday, where if those shorts are trapped from the last few days, if they're trapped down there, if they start to cover into the weekend, we get a major relief on Friday. As interested, let's see what the last few... Okay, let's have a look. I'll show you what I mean. Last Friday, low of week, there's your Friday squeeze relief. Friday, low of week, there is your squeeze relief. I'm concerned, low of week, about a squeeze relief on Friday. If I'm short, I'm not holding short into the weekend. Imagine you hold short into the weekend. This is the only thing that would, basically I'm saying, you hold short into the weekend and you're up tens of thousands of dollars and something comes out the weekend saying, hey, a deal's been done between Ukraine and Putin. We have negotiated with Canada and China and no more tariffs, or like we've cut tariffs down to 10%. Imagine coming back to the chart Sunday and you're going to get a like 800-point gap up. You'd be furious, right? So that's where my head is. It doesn't mean I have to long. It's just like, why do I want to initiate a new money short down there? Maybe after FMC, yeah. And it's funny you say that. That's exactly what I said last night. Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said, Ironclad. So it might be that it comes next week. Great minds, my friend. It's just sensible, isn't it? Sensible minds. All right, so we're opening up here near the initial balance low in this candle. ES is opening up right at the 50% of its IB, nowhere near the IB low right now. There's a buyer on the tape down at 400, and there's a 200 lot down at 150. Nice. Did you make enough money to put Wagyu in your burrito? That's the question. Is it an Asian Mexican inspired Wagyu burrito, or is it just like a standard burrito? Enough for avocados. Hey, avocados are expensive. If you put avocados and eggs in there, wow, you're balling. All right, so potentially bit of a W pattern trying to form here. Again, I'm not interested in this down here. I'm letting it shake out and being patient. If we start reclaiming up here, I'll think about it. If we start finding a bullish pattern down here, I'll think about it. I'm not going to become the liquidity for the market today. Initial balance rules apply. If we protect this or sweep it, failed auction, something like this, we go rotation VWAP. From VWAP, if we get above and hold, we go rotation IB high. Above IB high, either a trend day higher or failed auction and back down into rotation. We have been in rotation since Tuesday. All right, since Tuesday. So you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Traders all stuck in the market right now. They're all stuck in the market. Hopefully that makes sense. That's why the market's been a little bit more tricky this week. We've had to navigate it a little more cautiously because higher time frames in a sell, but we've been in rotation off that sell. You look at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, compare it to Monday, and then compare it to Thursday last week when we have strong trend days. Very, very different price action. After big sell days and sell weeks, we expect consolidation. We can't go straight down, can we? Can't go straight down. We have to build liquidity to do the next move. Chop, 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 chop. And this is still decent range, right? 520 to 446. That's painful range. All right. So if you're buying this, you've probably got to have your stop down there. If that washes you out, that's quite painful. If you're selling this, you got to have your stop here. If that washes you down here, sorry, if it stops you out here, it's still painful. Just be patient. Be patient in the market. Relative strength now coming into ES. It's right at the midpoint of its initial balance. Never traded near that IB low. VIX new low of day, right? VIX is starting to sell here. Breaking down, new low of day. If VIX keeps selling, I expect this market to have some relief. If we sell the VIX and we sell the market, we're going to have major divergence. That is just a no bueno. I'm not touching anything if we go out of sync with the VIX, right? If we go out of sync with the VIX, I'm not interested. So far, ES looking like it's trying to curl and drive up. VIX with a new low of day. If it stays heavy here, VIX is starting to stay heavy here. This market might get some relief here. It really might. If they keep selling this VIX, this market might get some relief here. Think about that downtrend. Think about pain points for shorts. Still early, but It's a big if right now, but VIX starting to break down. 23, sub 23, I'm going to have a look for a new demand level. Liquidity here at 23 on the dot for VIX. After that, we can trade all the way down to 22.14s. Let's see if they steal this liquidity and turn inside, or if they take it and just stay heavy on the VIX. Then ES will get relief. And if ES gets relief, if NQ wants to join in and have a little bit of strength in tech, then maybe we get relief in that as well. Still early, just waiting for this to play out. Being patient here. Most of the time, all I'm doing is watching the market and then attacking when it's clear, right? Grabbing the momentum when it's clear. That's what I attempt to do. So the plays today where I grabbed momentum was after this wash, which I couldn't see, which was really annoying because Ninja stopped and then grabbed some momentum up here. Said that it's going to likely come and wash here, waited for it. Once we started repricing this, grabbed some momentum here, and now we wait. Joining the coattails of the whales, right? Let the whales do all the work. We just get in behind them, grab 20, 30, 40, 50 points. And if the trend develops, we'll grab 100, 200, 300 points. Until a trend develops, see money, take money. Until a trend develops, we are in a see money, take money. I think we talked about it here. See money, take money, right? Until we get either side of the range. See money, take money. One of the advantages of doing the course, I have you very, very well prepared for the market. All right, one of the advantages, you get free entry into the Discord if you do the course, and you get my flow zones for free. Had to hire another person now. This is my third attempt to get someone to build my flow zones into NinjaTrader properly. I don't understand why it's so hard to build my indicator, but apparently it is. I'm at the point where I might even ask Grok or a ChatGPT and see if I can start doing it myself. Yeah, I did try using ChatGPT. I think there's quite a lot of errors in it. It's probably not far off. Obviously, I've got the code from PineScript already. It's just turning this PineScript code into C#. Not many closes beneath VWAP. Yeah, not many beneath this VWAP here. But if you look at the QQQ and the New York one, right, think about New York traders, we're underneath. Right, so New York traders are underwater right now. London Asia traders, they're all right. Right, they're comfortable. New York traders are underwater. This is where we chop. New York average, London Asia average. SPY, ES above its VWAP, QQQ under the VWAP still. Divergence in the market there. New low of day hit. Here comes the VIX trying to test that 23. Remember, big liquidity level there on 23. Higher time frame liquidity where it's going to try and run it. How we act here on the VIX will be key. If it snaps it and stays heavy, we probably get relief in this market. If it steals it and turns inside, then we're just going to continue in a chop day. Morning, Spartan. So here's failure now. Failure of 23s. Let's see if it stays heavy on the VIX here. Another 1 minute 22 for a 5 minute close. But so far, drifting lower here on the VIX versus that level. If it's going to keep drifting lower, it's got a long way down it can go. Another dollar, or another point, if you want to call it that. Another dollar or so. So here's the relief while the VIX starts to break down. ES starting to motor now to the upside. If the next pullback soaks here, consider a join. It's a little bit rough here, but if the next pullback soaks and the VIX stays heavy, I'd consider a join. It would have to soak off 500s. Want to be careful. We're midpoint of the range here. Accelerating. Small size. because we didn't pull back, but just small size in here as we start to accelerate because the VIX is starting to really puke. Right, so timing this with the VIX breaking down. 2282 now on the VIX. It's getting really heavy here on the VIX. I'd love to see it trade all the way down to 22s. Lovely on the market. Just trailing this up, small size, because I don't know when this is going to stop. But we are in here for the turn. This, like I said, this was a buy zone for higher time frame traders. Traders who understood the market were looking to buy there, not short there. And you get squeeze potential upside. Now we're reclaiming New York VWAP. Right, blue line, New York VWAP. So any dip in here, RBS level, New York VWAP that holds, we can think about rotation to IB higher. Still tiny size in this, but it's just going to keep going. I've got to change these accounts now. Again, made too much money. Making my life harder for myself. Making too much money today. Ugh. All right, what can I rotate to? Had to make a list, literally draw out a list of what I need to make on each one now after yesterday. Nice Tyson in at 500 for that break. Yeah, it's fine. I don't mind that. Reclaim of flow zones. I was joining once we started squeezing up here, selling some into this now. Any hold of this, I want to see VIX stay heavy, all right? I want to see VIX stay heavy. So if we pull back here, I need to see VIX basically reject 23. And then we can think about this move here. Remember, liquidity here, and then liquidity here. And if we get through that, we can have trend day. If we get through IB high, we can have trend day. We can go... Doesn't want me to draw. If we get through IB high, breakout and hold, we can go for previous day high. And if it really wants to go turbo, we can go for CPI high and previous week low. Otherwise, we're in rotation. We're still thinking about rotation. Think about the size of the IB where we're at right now. So don't join long up here. You'll need a pullback now at this point. Well, Peter, if I hadn't had tech issues, I'm telling you, that morning move would have been really nice. I don't know if I would have got it with the Trumpy boy, but it stopped right. I can't remember if it's this one or this one. One of these dips, my whole screen just stopped working, and then Ninja Trader stopped working. I think Ninja Trader stopped here, and TradingView stopped in all of this. So it just made it very, very hard for me. Right, this pullback key now. This pullback key now. Do they hold an RBS level around here? Can they hold New York VWAP? All right. This is key. How they operate for the rest of the day off this is key. Absolutely key. Not in this now. Sold on that last push up. Waiting. Just waiting. Change my account before I forget here. What can I move to? That's the question. 110. Literally having to count out which account I'm going to use. 110. 110 left to make. Okay, cool. So you can probably hear me say 110 left to make. That's where I've traded over 8 days and then came up short without realizing, even though I'm over the threshold. So I'm just having to calculate that. It happens, Peter. I don't think I'd had a tech issue for over a year. And then it was when I got ill, wasn't it? It's when I had that virus. Last Thursday or Friday, it feels like everything went wrong. Every single thing went wrong that could have gone wrong. All right, that RBS looking like it's holding for now. Here you go. Where did shorts get squeezed? Here. Breakout, pull back. Where do shorts cover? All right, if they fail to cover here, they get break even here. This can cause a squeeze up. All right, so you're looking for this to build. Ideally, flow zones start to support this action. All right, and you get this kind of move. And then this can be the liquidity. Any failure under here, just don't be playing down here. This is chop zone. Don't be playing down here if you're going to play it. This is starting to build liquidity, starting to look a bit better again. You had imbalance here, engulfing candle here, flow zones here, RBS here. Lots of reasons for the market to try and hold in front of 500, psychological level. If it keeps doing that, you have a drift upside. VIX new low of day. All right, VIX new low of day. You're looking good. VIX new low of day. It's what you want to see. So understanding the relationship between the VIX in the market, important. This is what gave us the inclination that we might be doing this move this morning. Rock Outfitter. Failure of data high. If we reclaim shorts, we'll get toasted. Can always sell off from here and look for data low again because we never got there. Yeah, absolutely. It left the liquidity, didn't it? Left that liquidity, which has been a signature in the market recently. But here we go. Holding, looking good here, folks. So runners, partials into this, and then high of day, right? IB high if you can get all the way up there. And then if we get over that, ooh, baby, you might get a breakout move today because shorts are going to get very uncomfortable. Looking very nice for you all here. Looking very, very nice for you all. We talked about this. Wait for that pullback. If you missed this entry here, wait for that pullback, which came into the RBS, into the flow zones. You've got the buy signal on the flow zones. It's telling you buy right now. We're in multi-time frame in this chart, at least in a buy signal. All right, it wants to run up to these levels. That's where it's trying to get to. Cause pain on the shorts. Be risk off. Doesn't mean take everything, but be risk off. Start paying yourself into these levels because if it wants to do this, it can. Remember, we are still in a giant range. Must pay yourself on these moves. ES just took, all right, we have divergence. ES just took this level of liquidity here. QQQ, just so you know, ETFs previous day high is right here. All right, that's what we're knocking into. ETFs are knocking into previous day high right now. So if you're a put seller, you might be selling versus PDH if you're playing the ETFs. So remember, cash markets. Why I watch the ETFs as well as the futures. No worries, Phenom. Where were you looking to short? You were thinking down here or here or something. VIX still drifting lower. Looks really good here. Can come right down to 22s, remember. Market looks good. ES in a hurry to go and take out the IB high here. ES definitely in a hurry for IB high. Just be careful how it builds out liquidity. And just watching this daily as we drift back up towards that daily downtrend. But ES has already taken this out. We got very close there to taking that pull. You are looking pretty good here, though, folks. All the time, VIX keeps drifting down like this. All the time, ES keeps lifting to the upside. We're thinking about dips. We're thinking about dips into pain points for shorts. One thing I'm watching, like I just said, it's that previous day high on the ETFs. Right, we've had failure around that all morning. If we start reclaiming that on the ETFs, then I think puts us going to start to possibly get burnt. All right, and if we get relief on the options market, the ETF market, and the futures market, that's when you get short covering squeezes. So just watching this carefully. New low of day again on the VIX. Beautiful. Yeah, Phenom, don't worry about FOMO. Like I say to everyone on chat, never think about it as a mistrade. I say missed, and we should never say mistrade. Just think about next opportunity. If you didn't take something, just wait for it to build out more structure. Take care, Jack. Thanks for joining again. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone in chat. Love trading with you all every day. So much fun. And hopefully all of those who are new here are learning something while we trade. Still in a rotation here. Biased is upside, but we're still in an inside bar. We're inside the daily, and we're inside the initial balance. We might start breaking out of this daily sort of range soon. The H4 repriced, remember, like we talked about, and it found bids. This is why I was biased long side this morning. The H1 and the H4 were telling me. Rebalanced. on an H1, and this is an H4, rebalanced. It can drive upside. Remember, we're breaking this trend we've had all week. There's lots of liquidity up here for it to go and attack. If I was short here, 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 here all week, the closer this gets, the more nervous I'm going to be. I'm not adding short positions here on a Friday. I'm more likely to be thinking, get me the out. All right, let's lock in my money. Do I trade breakouts? Not really. I would prefer a breakout pullback, but I will trade a breakout if I think a significant amount of one side are trapped, right? It would have to be a major daily and weekly level normally. I guess you could argue I traded a breakout here. I guess you could argue I traded a breakout here, but this was nicer, right? So after the breakout comes the pullback. That's the confirmation. But if we are going to break a major, if we've done like a major weekly consolidation and there's upside liquidity targets, then yeah, I would consider it. Here goes upside. VIX getting absolutely tanked on right now. 22.45. So we're 60 cents down from when we talked about that breaking down from 23 being the key level. Here goes ES all the way up to its IB high right now. All right. So ES getting very close to its IB high, which is high of day. Lagging a little behind here on the Qs. Remember, we haven't taken this liquidity yet. We've taken one level. We've left a little bit there. It's probably going to get run soon. Be very careful with this signature. Very similar to this signature. If it needs to do this before it gets there, be very, very careful. We don't like it when liquidity is built straight upside. It is a problem. Remember, if we're looking for bullish liquidity, this is what we're looking for. We need something here to do this. If we build straight upside, it will punish everyone. If we build straight upside, it will punish everyone. If we build straight downside, it will punish everyone. Right. Market's job is to be the casino. It needs to make sure you lose. Most people have FOMO. They chase into the market. They are the market's liquidity. That's who it wants to take out all the time. Power of three, are you saying? Yeah. Yes, a little bit of a sell inside its IB, right at that IB high. There's a 100 lot up here at 600. These are, when I'm selling these are genuine sellers, right? There's a 100 lot up here at 600. There was a 650 lot. He's kind of pulled a little bit. There's a little bit left up there. He's genuine. I think that 650 lot, the guy who was at 650, is the guy who's moved down to 600. It looks like it's him that's walked it down to 600. So he looks like a seller, genuine seller looking to get filled there at 600. So let's see. If we can get a wash here and a hold, we can try and trade this upside. Watching ES and the spiders, they look very strong. Yeah, market looking very strong today. Nice green day across the board. Apple 1% up. Microsoft 1.5%. Amazon 1.65%. Google 0.2%. Meta just under 2% up. Nvidia just under 4% up. And Tesla 1.20% up on the day. Gap and go, right, is what the market wanted to do today. Gap and go. Holding those London and Asia highs. We are not confirmed trend up until we get outside the initial balance. All right, we are in a rotational day until it proves otherwise. ES is very close to getting outside the initial balance, but it's not there yet. VIX, fresh low of day again, keeps drifting lower. Be careful if they need to do that wash here. Remember, seller at 600 on the tape right now. When I say 600, I'm talking about the NQ. I'm not talking about the ES. I'm looking at liquidity on the NQ right now. If we can get a dunk and a hold, we can think about that trade back upside. Go and attack that IB high. We have left intact IB high and IB low all day on every indices right now. So far, just a rotation, 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 rotation is all we're seeing. So starting to sell off that liquidity like we talked about, builds that liquidity, traps the late bulls. Let's see if and when it soaks. Basically needs to protect this low. Right? If it comes down here, that's a problem. But if we protect this low, if we just sweep anywhere in here, and it still has room to go upside. 5 minutes until a new H1 bar as well. You can think about. So all these guys who went late, now punished. Same thing here. Right? We talk about it all the time. This is not what you want to see when you're a buyer. It's fine if you bought down here for that move or here for that move and you hold on, but you do not want to participate as buyers up in these levels. Very, very dangerous. One thing that H1 and VWAP I put in off yesterday. Look how we held it this morning. Very interesting that. I'm just waiting now. I had a really good day after feeling a bit of tilt earlier and having to just back right off the market and then just trade once my heartbeat calmed down and I felt good. Now just waiting. VIX finding a bit of a bid here. So VIX can trade all the way back up to 23 and find a rejection up there or just over it. Wouldn't really want it to see it go that high. You want to see it get slammed. You want to see this find a bid here in the market and go upside towards the initial balance, which it looks like it's trying to currently do, doesn't it? It looks like it wants to get up there right now. $600. He's still at 600 on the tape, not filled anywhere up there yet. Still there, waiting to get filled. ES has the chance to go back towards its IB high here. Important how we operate here. Are we going to do this breakout on a kind of flag move? That's what we're thinking about here. If it gets stuck, you don't want that sort of head and shoulder look to start to develop. You want it to develop sort of a flag. Might need a two-leg pullback, but ideally not, because then it's going to go very, very deep. You really just want this to keep driving higher after washing out those late bulls. Looking good. As long as it holds sort of 62s, then it looks good here for that drive higher. ES looking good. So I'm selling at sort of 90 in front of that 600. I think if we break out of 82, we should really see it squeeze straight through 600 and up to high of day. Still looking at this long. Looks good on the ES. Can the market get going here? Should get going. Can it get going? Here we go. Beautiful. So there's the break. So move my stop up with it. Can we get a sustained bid? Now we've taken this liquidity here through 600s up to high of day. ES going through that IB high. So again, that wash, absolutely fantastic, offering the cheaper buy back into flow zones. And we take this liquidity. Now we're going for 600. And if we get through 600, we should come and take out 620, right? So we just want all pullbacks to hold now. All right, all pullbacks need to hold for this move up. Watching ES just in case ES gets divergence and takes IB high and fails inside. But so far, breaking the IB high, looking really good. I like the look of the VIX as well. That last drive up got sold into at 2260. Lovely. Fantastic. So holding runners here. How high up can we get? Can we get to the IB and then above it? We can think about a trend day above it. If we're going to break out and hold, we can think about that trend day. We're looking so good. Come on. Here's 600 knocking on the door. Next up, 620. I want to see a ton of W's in chat. I don't know how easy I could have made this for you. This is beautiful. Lovely. So through 600 now, thinking about 620s. Can we get 620s? And through 620s, we're runners for previous day highs. Oh my God, market in a hurry. There's the IB. Oh my God. Moving stop up. Oh my God. Come on. Come on. Name another trader online giving you this stuff for free with explanation. Come on. I even told you the trap. I gave you everything. Learn this for when I'm not here. Boom. Wash them out. Flow zones. Flag. Bang. Easy money. Everything else a bonus now. Come on. That's 100 points. I want W's all over the chat. There's no reason you shouldn't have got that. Let's go. Learn the signatures. Same thing every single day. The same thing. Once you learn the market signatures, it's like playing poker. When it plays properly, you can see its tells. It becomes so obvious. You can see its tells. So you're runners now for moves towards previous day high. All right. Previous day high, we have a block here at 700. All right. Here's your PDH, red line. If we can sustain a bid, sorry, then we're trying to get previous day high. Over that, previous week low, CPI high. All right, those are the next draws. But you just made a lot of money there. It's a 100-point banger. Do me a favor, share this stream with your mates. All right, because there's so much crap out there. People are probably watching other people getting trapped, losing money, and reloading those evals again and again and again. I will keep you safe. I absolutely promise you. I only trade when there's something really obvious and a setup where I know people are trapped. Remember, my bias today was upside. Since last night in Discord, we talked about it. Probable upside move towards PPI, CPI, if it can get going. Let's go. Let's see what you all did in chat. I can tell a ton of you got this. Let's have a look. Tyson, boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Tyson with the win. Array with the win. Phenom with a loss. Not sure what happened there, mate. Maybe you got in short side or just missed it. I'm not sure. Stephen C with the win. Peter with the win. Tyson, 100 points. I know, man. I know. What a beauty. Andrew with the W's. Leron with the W's. Michael with the W's. Andrew G with the W's. Marek with a big win. Coop with a win. Derek with a win. Lee Kim with a win. Brad with the win. I love it, buddy. Let's go. Mr. Slim with the win. Greg with the win. Nate with the win. Pat with the win. Jake Farm. Lee Kim. Let's go. Rock with the win. Jeff with the win. Geordie. Caladin. Clint. Earl. Slash. Arturo. Yulimar. Priska. JD Florida Man. Nick with a big W past 250k evals. High five, my friend. Great work. Beautiful. Tyson, $1,200 yesterday, $990 today by sticking to the rules. That's it, buddy. That's all we have to do, right? Just stick to the rules. Indicate with the win. Slash with the win. No with the win. Derek with the big dub. Phenom missed it. Missed it was getting coffee. It happens sometimes, man. It happens. It's happened to me on stream so many times. RHD11 with the win. Miguel with the win. I love it, guys. I love it. I love you guys winning. It's way better for me seeing you all do well on stream than it is for me. The satisfaction out of seeing you all do well is amazing. Close the charts. That's it, Tyson. Lock in basically 1,000 each day. Close those charts, baby. Job done. All right, job done. Fantastic. All right, so we're waiting now. If we build more structure here, there is a chance to go upside. An auction will be above the initial balance, all right? Will be a trade back up towards previous day high. ES is basically here already, just so you've got a heads up. So ES is very, very close to PDH. I'm watching all the markets at the same time. We're starting to find a little bit of a bid here on the VIX. Easy, low-hanging fruit's gone. We're just, you're runners only now unless we build out. I would like to see like a build of liquidity, all right? Maybe sideways for a bit, and then we can think about that slingshot upside, right? If we're going to confirm trend, we're going to keep going up. We can go for this. It might seem wild, but remember, Wednesday I got really pissed off because we didn't take out that CPI high, all right? We got very, very close. We traded it right here. I was in this for this move from here to here, and we didn't take it, and I ended up taking a break even like an idiot. And I changed my trading for the rest of the week. I was like, we're going to leave that liquidity for a reason. Left liquidity. All right, look at all these highs not taken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sets of highs here not taken. We took these today. 7, 8, 9. This was all left here for a reason. Why is it left here? To go and punish. Right? This is shorts getting way too comfortable. Way too comfortable. That's why my bias today was upside. They are too comfortable. We have divergence ETFs to the futures. We have divergence on the low of days on the ETFs versus not making high of days on the VIX. We have divergence everywhere. The RSI is at a weekly low. Lowest we've been for years and years and years. And last time we got anywhere near this, we had a massive retracement off it. So that is the reason why I was thinking upside today. We just had to be patient. We had to be patient. Best copy trader, Replicanto. Replicanto. Use my code FCT. Should be in the description underneath. Replicanto. Yeah, I feel you, Noah. Consistency rules on days like today are a pain. Like I said, I've been making too much money this morning. I've had to back off. It is a pain. All right, looks like we're in a hurry to keep going. Holding IB high here. And it looks like you might be able to hold those runners for that move to previous day high. ES can drift back a little further to its IB high. All right, it's a bit extended from it versus everything else. There is potential for ES to come back to sort of 608. And then we see from there. TradeSync. Yeah, they had issues this week, though, didn't they, on TradeSync? They had a web-based platform. They have issues on partials. When one takes a partial and the others don't get filled, there are lots of people blowing their accounts this week on TradeSync because of partials. It's fine if you're using one in, one out. It's not fine at the moment if you're using like micros and stuff. That's the only thing I'd say, Derek. But yeah, I've been looking at them for a while, but they've had some issues. Only this week. I know they're trying to fix it. Yeah, there are lots of people. If you go on Twitter, you'll see earlier this week there was a lot of people having some major issues with some partials getting filled, others not getting filled. And they didn't know until they came back to the charts and they'd taken like huge losses. But I'm not saying don't use them. I'm just saying be aware, basically. Be aware. Right, so watch and see if ES drifts back into its IB. Remember, we're a bit extended here. We broke out from here. Your flow zones are here. Our IB is here. I would say ES IB is basically here. But all the time we're holding, there's potential trade higher. All the time we're holding is potential trade higher. But we're a little bit extended. But there is a potential trade all the way up to previous day highs, where the market's trying to get going right now. See if we can initiate anything else, if it's going to offer an ad. I'd like it to come lower first, but it doesn't feel like it's going to come lower first, does it? It just wants to get in a hurry to the previous day high. So 650 on the book, seller at 650, that 50 lot. Then above that, 700. And then we can think about 765, previous week low. That's the main supply level. We're going to look at the higher time frame charts. All right, let's just go to a daily. This low here, all right? We rejected once. All right, remember, this is a huge level, green box. Support, resistance, resistance, support, resistance. All right, it's a big, big level, that. What is the confluence with it? 2 or 3 year uptrend, previous week low, and this area. It's a big level. If we get acceptance over this next week, this is when I think we get like that mean reversion trade up into somewhere in here. maybe even higher if it really wants to get going, but definitely towards the 20-day. All right, so we're looking to see if we can extend into and around this. Remember, we're breaking out of this right now. But the low-hanging fruit, your easy money on the day, you should have made it. You made it already. So drifting down into where? Into where we broke out from. Like I said, ES probably, its IB is about here on our chart. All right. If we're just going to steal, I don't think this is over yet. I'm going to be honest. The flat top there, there's no excess high left. I think we probably end up doing something like this. Maybe it needs to come deeper and do it, but I don't think the game is over yet. But I could be wrong, and I think we are going to go for new highs again in this session. Market in squeeze mode. If I was a short, I would be in panic mode right now. Into the weekend, like we talked about. Why would you want to be holding into all of this? You wouldn't. You would not want to be holding into all of this. VIX trading back towards its lows now as well. Starting to base out a little bit here, much like the market here. Well, I'd love to see us trade back down somewhere into this. But might not need to, but I'd love something into this and then go. That would be really nice. It would be a kinder way to go, especially if ES comes back down towards its IB high and flow zones and holds. It'd be very, very nice. But trying to tell myself, absolutely nailed it all this week. Do I need to do much else? Ironclad, you got MSTU, NVDX, TSL, all swings this week. Oh, nice. I'm trying to decide if I start buying some ETFs as commons, or if I can get a like really far out option, like for a long-term swing and hold for a call. So looking like it's going to break here for another drive higher. I really want it lower before it does this. I don't really want to buy up here at high of die. Really want this to drift lower and retrap. What's the furthest out option you can get? Anyone know? Never really traded options, but I don't mind starting to pick up some QQQ and SPY when it hits my levels. But what's the furthest out I could get a call for? Can you get like a 3 and a 5 year, or is it completely pointless? Zelensky, now we have a good chance to end this war quickly. That's just hitting the wire now. As far out as you want, years. 2027. Oh. I might start picking some of those up. Trading leaks 2, 3, 4 years, like 2 years. Yeah, I'm going to start picking some of those up. The lower we go, the better. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Arturo, yeah. Are you off now? Have a great weekend. I think lots of you made money on that last drive, and you're like, hey, ending Friday that green with a 100-point banger, we're done. And I don't blame you. I do not blame you. So maybe we can get this trap. Like, I'm looking for that deeper drive down. Like I'm saying, I don't want to buy up here at the IB high. I know we're at the IB high, but I'm watching the ES. All right, I'm watching the ES. Watching to see if we come back down towards where we broke out from. What we could also do, think about like maybe one off here, maybe one off here. That anchor just got tapped. So this was the drive I was just talking about. Just missed it while I was putting that on. That was probably a little bit of a buy there, a cheap buy, I would say. That was probably a cheap buy there. Looking for that drive. It's not confirmed yet, but it came right into flow zones, right into this imbalance. If we start letting go of this, I'd be very cautious. But all the time we're holding this RBS and this imbalance or this imbalance, then I'd be thinking about more upside potential. That cheap buy off that anchor I just put in a minute ago definitely looked good, didn't it? Let's see, though. Let's see if this shapes up. 650 seller just lifting off the tape. How long we got left? 45 minutes till lunch. Starting to build that liquidity like we talked about. Starting to build it now like we talked about. These are the kind of shapes that you want to see. Even lower would be better, and then just sideways, and then start curling back up, start trapping all those shorts who are short versus IB. For that squeeze and for a move into PDH, that would be fantastic. One thing I would say is the ETFs are above PDH, right? So we're only looking at PDH now, which basically we're looking at Globex levels from 2 days ago on the futures. But previous day high traders, anyone who had a put versus previous day high on the ETFs is already absolutely out the money. Yeah, smash that like button if you made steak burrito with avocado and eggs today. Yeah, exactly. More expensive than gold right now. Avocado and eggs. New 15-minute bar here. Marking out some of these old imbalances now. And we've got a new 15-minute if it wants to drift back into it. Would be a nice level. 15-minute imbalance is basically like here. Right, if it did something like this, it'd be really nice. Flip of that, I would not be thinking long for the rest of the day at that point. In fact, I'd just be leaving. This is looking good now. It's building out that sort of micro inverse head and shoulder, a potential sort of flag to go up to previous day high. We found sellers up here in each and every drive so far. If these sellers start to becoming buyers, right? If we flip these sellers and they start to become buyers, if they start covering, then we go for that previous day high. But like I said, low hanging fruit's gone. Just remember that your low hanging fruit trade has gone. Next step is previous day high, previous week low, CPI high. It's the next things we can aim for. Looking good here though. ES going for a new high of day potentially. So it's just in front of its previous day high here. 625. What is that? Let's have a look. 23s. And we would need to get up to 94s on the NQ. It's trying to go here. It is trying to do this flag to go here. Yes, almost got it. Tapped right, very, very close into it. Finding a bit of selling in front of that previous day high. A little bit of divergence there because ES made a new high of day and we did not, but still feel like this is going to go here. So if you're still in a runner, you still look good. If you bought that dip, you actually look good as well. That flag, inverse head and shoulder kind of liquidity. That's what we're looking at. Any fail under here, everything is off the table for longs, right? Not touching longs under there. Under this, not touching longs. In fact, just not touching the market at all under that. Looking good though. You're looking good. If you're still in this, like I said, that dip was probably it. That was probably it. It's already 40 points off that dip. While I was drawing it, it did it. It's just one of those. Market's wanting to go here, wants to break out. Here it goes. Can it get through? Can we get up to previous day high here on this flag and inverted head and shoulder? It looks very, very good. ES getting very close to previous day high. Just watch ES in case they sell into previous day high. Looks really, really good here, folks. Bang! There you go. Can we get up into PDH? Got very close there on the ES. Still not quite there. Can we extend this move? You want this just to keep extending, keep squeezing, run all these stops out. You don't want this to just stop and turn back inside here. Protecting PDH so far. You would expect it to get taken. You would expect it to get taken. Whether it does or not is a whole other thing, but you would expect it to get taken. It's trying. It's really, really trying. We've got a long way to go here on the NQ if we're going to do it, all the way up to 700. So it's still trying to extend here up to 700 if it can get going. Yeah, still not taking it. Getting very close, like we keep saying. Getting very, very close. Not taking it yet. Come on, ES. Let's go, market. Let's go up to previous day high. Let's get this all the way up to previous day high. So if you bought that dip, you are up really good right now. Make sure you're paying yourself a little bit while it struggles around here. You don't want to get stuck. Here we go. Come on. Don't you trade inside. You had a chance there up to 650. That seller at 650 selling into that. They sold just in front of him there, unfortunately. Come on. You can get going through 650. Want it to get through 650. Want ES to get through previous day high. Still look good. Come on, market. Stop fanning around. Come on, market. Here we go. There we go. There's 650. 650 seller out the way. Come on, market. Let's keep going. Lovely. Come on. Who teaches you like this, team? Who teaches you like this? So just make sure you're locking something in here. ES is right on previous day high, like I said. All right. If ES takes previous day high and trades inside, we want to lock in. So make sure you're paying yourself some money. And then you can hold the rest, right? You can move your stop break even, hold the rest for a trend day in case we go up to previous day high, which is where the market is trying to go right now, that red line. If we get through previous day high, previous week low, and CPI high, right? So the next first stop basically effectively, what's this? 94, 694, right? Market wants to go to 694. But remember, like I keep saying, ES is right here. ES is on it, right? So if ES takes it and fails, we're going to cover up, we're going to sell our position. If ES takes it and holds, we're going to trade into here. And then we're going to look at this and then this. Well, we're not adding up here now, right? The add was here and the trade was here and here, all right? This was the trade. We're not adding up in these levels now. Looking good here, folks. Looking really good. PDH on NQ, this red line. 693, Derek, 693. Previous day high. Previous day high. We look really good. Here we go. So we're going to reach up for it now. ES now, by the way, has just taken previous day high. All right. So if you haven't taken a partial, now's a good time to take a little bit off if you're playing micros. No, yesterday's high. Thursday's high. Wednesday's high is all the way up here. Yeah. So look. Yesterday's high right here. Oh, is that printed wrong? No, that's right. It's right. It's right. It just looks weird. Looks good. On the daily, let you see it here. Previous day high. Right here. Right here. Wednesday's high is all the way up here. Almost 800. Looking good, folks. You look really good here. Really good here. Hold your runners. Fridays love to trend. If we trade all the way up to CPI, you are going to be laughing. If we get all the way up to 800, even if you manage to hold one little micro with your stop in the money, if we get all the way up here, even if it fannies all day and gets up there, you're going to be very happy for that extra 200 points, right? As long, like if you've got a trailing drawdown, obviously that's a little bit different. But if you're trading top step or cash or whatever, just try and hold that runner. Move your stop in the money, try and hold the runner, let it work. ES, by the way, has taken that level out, okay? ES has taken that level out, all right? So it's watching this 5-minute bar because it's putting in a wick high. I want to see how this closes in the next 30 seconds. If we close above it, then we can allow a pullback into it and a hold. If we close under it, I'm going to be a little bit cautious here. How good was that dip that we talked about? There's the imbalance. There's the flow zones. There's your RBS. This is basically where we said it would probably dip and not respect this because ES needs to reprice. And then we went. Where did shorts get stuck? Here. Flat top. Liquidity, liquidity, turn and burn, baby. Turn and burn. Follow the higher time frame momentum. That's all we have to do. Momentum right now is starting to move into a bullish play. Look at the daily. right? We're outside. Well, once we get through this previous day high, we're going to be outside. Look at the hourly chart right now. Hourly chart. Think about anchored VWAP. Think about what we said on the 4 hour. Look how good this 4 hour is. When we were here and I said the new 4 hour might rebalance and then go, think about what that did. Rebalanced, bang. Right? Trapped shorts at the lows, bang. This is the level we said. I don't want to be short down here. I'm thinking about becoming a buyer down here. Higher time frame will always keep you safe. I can't imagine how many shorts got absolutely wrecked down here. So runners only. I want to see W's in chat. Did any of you add into that? Did any of you catch that dip? Did any of you catch this? Did any of you play this flag and you're in this now? You're comfortably in the money now, looking for that rinse higher. W's in chat. How many got it? Oh, I love it. Some of you still here. I know a lot of people left after that last winner. So Coop, Michael, Dopamine, Array, Capped, Jeff, W on the dip, Making Coffee, Clint, no big deal. Indicator, Lerom. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is proof why when you go on tilt like I did earlier, I just backed right off and I was like, need to calm down. I'll take a trade when it sets up if I feel good. Backed right off. Didn't do anything stupid. And then we've had a fantastic day. Controlling emotions. Nice, Brad. Jeff, done for the day. Derek, I can't make any more consistency rules there. I feel that, buddy. Andrew G, hit my profit target and stopped. Love it. Great discipline. Great discipline. Great work, everyone. What a nice way to end the week, eh? What a lovely way to end the week. Lovely, lovely way to end the week. Right, ES here, failing now. Failing previous day high. So it's taken it and it's trading back underside, right? So I'm risk off right now. Yes, we can hold. Yes, we can hold RBS, but really just waiting. If you were long on the dip or long here, you can keep, like if you've paid yourself some, you can keep your stop break even and try and get up here and up here for the rest of the day. If it knocks you out, if you're tiny size left, you can keep doing that. I'm out of the position now. But if you have some size, you can still leave this break even. It still has a draw up here and up here. Still has potential to do that. No worries, Trentry. We've got 30 minutes left now. That's all, 30 minutes. Until I'm off for the session. Any of you, what I would ask, any of you who have done the course, all right, any of you who have done the course and joining me here, if you haven't left me some feedback already, got to think what it's called now. If you haven't left me feedback on Trustpilot, please, 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 I'd really appreciate your feedback on Trustpilot. It would mean an awful lot to me. I'll post it in the chat. All right, I'd really appreciate your feedback. Nice positive review on Trustpilot. If you trade with me, if you've done the course, it would mean a lot. Lots of you have already done it. Ortani up 2% today. Hey, that's a great gain. Up 2% today. Good work. Good work. All right, so you can see here how ES took previous day high and is starting to fail. All right, it's starting to fail. It's still printing. It can still print higher highs, higher lows, but there's a significant pullback there after taking previous day high, the low-hanging fruits. That's the divergence. We can still hold the RBS level. Like I said, it can still hold this, so can ES. It can still hold this and build again. It can still go and go again. Might try and do an educational video this weekend. Haven't done one for a couple of weeks. Might try and do a new educational video this weekend. How many micros are you guys using? All depends. I would say it all depends what size account. When you click it, it says the website may be harmful. Yeah, it does for me as well. Go to site. It's fine though. You just click through. It's an official site. I'm not sure why it's saying that. It did for me as well. That's really odd. Very odd. I'm for the broker, yeah. We take their money. What topic, Crawford? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. Do you want a technical one? I was thinking I might do a new one on like Tradeify versus Apex, because I get lots of questions about that. Which one to use, how to trade them differently. Looking good here. RBS still holding. ES still holding the same level. This is your RBS level. Still holding. Can still do this. Might need a 2-leg before doing it. But otherwise, it's still looking good if you're holding runners. I'm not executing a new long position here, all right? We had good positions. As a reminder, the entries, some were here. Some of us took it here. Some of you took it here. Some of you added on this dip. Some of you added here, all right? So from here, this is what, 100 and... What was this entry here? 500. This is 150 points. From here, we got a 100-point banger, right? We don't need to keep adding. Entry 50% through the course now. Like, does it have HTTPS? It might. Yes, it does. Is that what does it? Is that what does it? So who was asking about the micros? TR. With a 50k in this kind of range, you could honestly start with 1 or 2 micros as a starting position, and if it starts to firm up, you could add 1 or 2. All right, think about, we just got a 100-point trade there. If you were using a 50k and you had 2 micros, that's $400. You've only got to get to 3,000 as a profit target, right? You're going to do that in under 10 days. That's enough. And if you added to your winner and you got 4 micros on there, it's $800. You do not need to trade minis in this market. You really don't need minis in this market. The volatility and the range is so big, you do not need it. Jake from State Farm, you mean contracts? Like I just said, 50Ks, 1, 2 micros, 3 micros as a starter, you can add into it. If you're trading 150Ks, if you've built a buffer, like I have on some of mine, I am trading minis on some of my 150Ks, but they are like, you know, $10,000 in the money right now. It's a little bit different. Start small. Don't be in a rush to make money, all right? I've talked about this with a few of my students this week. Where you will blow up is by oversizing, by not respecting the size of the ATRs, the size per candles. If you don't respect that, you will blow up. You will oversize and get whacked. Adding to losers, you will get whacked in this market. It will punish you. 50K contract, honestly, 1 or 2 micros is all you need, Jake from State Farm. For a 50K, I'm talking about a 50K eval account, sorry. You only need 1 or 2 micros. I'm just trying to assess how to get in and out quick. My current style is slow. I have a top step 150K. Honestly, if you're trading top step, you could probably do 3, 4, 5 if you needed to, micros, all right, and just let it work. And then just put your limit orders up at where the liquidity is, or in front of where the liquidity is, where you're trying to get it to drive to. After you pass the buffer, what would the buff be, the buffer after that? Not sure what you mean there, Miguel. So on a 50K, once you get past 2,500, I think it's 2,500, maybe it's 3,000, you can start sizing up a little bit. RMCFX, I trade 1 mini on a 50K, and micros contacts tend to take too much commissions on lot sizes. Yeah, but if you're accurate, right, then let's say here, let's say you took, I'm trying to think where it is, a mini here. The drawdown on this alone was what, like 30 points? That's $600 on a 50K minus. You probably can't sit through that pain. If you'd taken, you know, one micro there, added a couple here, added a couple here, partialed out here, you're looking much better. It's just a much easier way to trade. I understand what you're saying about the commissions, but the truth of the matter is, if you are trading minis on 50K accounts right now, you will have to, it is impossible to not have 30, 40 point stop right now in this market. It's very, very hard not to have that because you need to give it room. Like even here, let's say you bought this flag. Let's say you bought this flag. Where is my long tool? All right, where are we? Let's say you bought this flag here. Or let's say you even bought above this one, which would be the lowest risk possible, and you had to risk here. That's above this high. And it's still 30 points. If you bought the actual breakout of here or here, it's 50 points. Even though the RR is good, 50 points is $1,000. If that washed you out, you're in big, big problems on a 50K. That's all I'm saying. That's what I need to change. I currently mark it in. Yeah, like my hotkeys are set to limit. Yeah, they're set to limit in. Sometimes I don't get filled. All right, if I need to chase, I will. Like if I'm absolutely certain, I'll hit a market. But I'm really looking to limit fill, right, as much as possible. What is the best eval you think for a new future trader to start? I think it's the growth account on Traderify. I think they are the best eval. It's 1 day pass. There's no trailing drawdown. It will lock you out for the day if you hit your max loss on the day, but you can still come back the next day and trade it. It's cheap. There's no let's find it. There's no fee once you pass it. Let's just get it up. All right. I would go with this one. Growth account. All right, so profit target, $3,000. Soft breach daily loss limit, $1,250. Trailing max drawdown, which is done at the end of day, all right? End of day. It's not done during the day. End of day is $2,000. 1 day to pass, $139. But if you use code FCT, you will get 35% off that right now. All right, so making it sub $100. There's an 85 reset fee and there's no activation fee. So all in all, this is probably the cheapest one out there right now. And it's probably the easiest to pass because you don't have a trailing drawdown that follows you in the trade. So you can set and forget, all right? You can set the trade, set your profit target and let it work for you. This will teach you good habits and how to trade, this one. All right, that's the cheapest one. You can obviously size up. You can have 5 of these as well. All right, so I think that is the best account for newer traders. That will teach you proper risk management and it will also teach you to sit in trades and let them work, which is one of the hardest things with Apex. Hardest things with Apex and with the advanced account with Traderify is that you will scalp out, all right, until you get major pass or until you're past that trading threshold. And then you need to change your mentality back to trading properly. When I say trading properly, I mean setting your entry, setting your stop loss, setting your profit target, letting it go there, not worrying about trailing all the time. So that's what I would say. Isn't it better to go straight to funded? Not if you're a newer trader. The question was for a newer trader. Yeah, for like a brand new trader. If you've got a proven track record and you know you are taking money out of the markets, absolutely. Don't waste time doing evals. Just go straight to funded and pass it. The only thing with the straight to funded over there is it's 20% consistency, which is small. But I think if you can get in the game, if you're early in the game, you can get an eval which is going to cost sub $100, where you don't have a trailing drawdown, where you don't have to pay an activation fee. I don't think there's better than that on the market right now. Getting very close here to previous day high, folks. So you look really, really good here. All right, so just keep holding. This is target. All right, make sure you take a partial when you get to previous day high. Then we're looking at previous week low and CPI. All right, previous week low and CPI. But you look fantastic. We're in a trend day, confirmation above the IB high. Everything looking great here for you. I trade minis to pass the account micros after that. Yeah, I do the same, Iron. I do the same. I just get those accounts passed quick. I shouldn't say this, but I know I can pass them very, very fast on a mini and then move into them properly. Did someone say they got a warning on Trustpilot? I got a yeah. It's showing a warning. It's fine if you click through. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe because I'm just posting it in chat. Capt, if you're worried, just go to Discord and click it from there. It's in the Discord as well. Greg, what are my top 3? I would say top 3 right now are Tradeify number 1. Tradeify number 1. Reason being, whether you want to do the trailing drawdown super cheap in the advanced account, whether you want to do the growth account where you can sit on it, or whether you want to do a straight to funded, they offer all of those. So I think, first of all, the service they offer is fantastic. Very close to PDH here, guys. Get ready to lock something in. Right, get very, very close here. Get ready to lock it in if you're already in. Hold the runners because we can still go previous week low and CPI, but get ready to lock something in here. Fantastic trade. Wow. Okay, so that, first of all. Second of all, when you request a payout from Tradeify, they pay you within hours. Not confirm it within hours. They pay you within hours. So that's the reason they're my number 1. And the back end of their service is amazing. The amount of stats and data you can get is so good. There's PDH. So pay yourself some money here at PDH. We're going to get back onto the firms in a second. Through this, you're looking for a drive through 700 all the way up to previous week low, which is around 765. But make sure you're paying yourself some money here, folks. All right, we just hit another low-hanging fruit target. ESPDH, we're way through it, Yellamar. It was all the way down at 623, right? We've ripped through it. So everything looking very bullish at now. We are squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. If I was a short, I'd be very, very worried. And guess what? Where is the VIX? 2211. Where did the next demand block start? 2211. All the way down to 2127. All right, so we're doing the moves here. This is everything we talked about. Probably pre-market, definitely since we were down here. Talking about I don't want to be a seller down here. I'm going to wait and look for this move. And the targets were IB, and then forget where PPI was. IB, PPI, previous day high, previous week low right here, and then CPI high. Do not add up here. Do not add up here. You're in runners and it goes, or you're not in it anymore. All right, you're in runners and it goes, or you're not in it anymore. My second favorite firm is Apex. People are going to be like, why is it Apex? Nice pays out, blah, 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 blah. Apex, first of all, is cheap. Really cheap. Second of all, you can have 20 accounts. Third of all, unlike every other firm, once you've kept drawing enough money out the market, you will get to the point where you're allowed to draw absolutely everything out the market. Right? So instead of making you go live, you can take 500 grand out, $1 million out. And it's been done. And I'm well on my way to building these accounts with nice buffers by the end of the year. I'm going to take it nice and slow. Got my game plan. I'm sticking to it. So that's the reason I love Apex. You have to be careful with the rules, but they're actually not that bad, right? DCA rule isn't present anymore. All you got to do, build your buffer, trade strict, don't do more than 30% in one day. Or if you do, which I have done, all right, if you do, just keep building the account out. It's not a big deal, is it? Make more money. Isn't that what we all want to do anyway? So lots of people complain and bitch and moan about it, but as long as you stick to it, I still think you will make more money from Apex than any other firm. Third best firm I like is Take Profit. Now, full transparency, I'm not currently trading with them and I haven't traded with them, but they're on my list to pick a load of accounts up. I'm going to pick, I think you're allowed 5 with them. I'm going to pick those up. Why do I like them? Well, because you can pull money out the market with them every single day. So once you make your money, once you've passed the accounts and you've got a PA account or whatever they call it over there, you are able to withdraw money from them every single day. So you make $1,000 on the day, you pay yourself. The next day you make $500, you pay yourself. It's instant. You pay yourself, you pay yourself, you pay yourself. So it's just like trading real. I think that's a great way to build cash flow. So those are my top three by far. By far. Those are easily the top three. I just won a 150K Tradeify growth account yesterday. Crawford, that's awesome. I think that's the best account that they do. So just take it nice and slow with that. The nice thing with that, with the growth account, right, is you get into the trade and you let it work. Don't scalp it out. Let it work. Let it go to your... Imagine you were long on a growth account here and you let it work and it comes all the way up there. You probably pass on that trade, all right? And you can move your stop up here, for example. You don't have to worry about the trail. You do not have to worry about the trail on the growth account, which is great. Right, so taking PDH, just be careful. What is this? What they want to do? Come and sweep some of this liquidity, and if they catch it, where do we go? We go back for upside, all right? Failure underneath here, then we go rotation. Remember, low-hanging fruit, taken. Low-hanging fruit, taken. There's only a couple levels left, and they're up here. But notice why I said do not add up here. Previous day high taken. This, what does this look like? This, what does this look like? This, what do they do on this? They wash everyone out before thinking about considering going upside again. All right, learn the patterns. Trying to catch up with everyone here. Sorry, reading through the chat. Anyone experienced with Earn to Trade? No, I've never traded with them, so I can't comment personally. Tradeify is 500 for a 50K. No, it's not. No, it's definitely not. Nowhere near that. It would be sub 100. You're a little confused between the eval and growth account. What do you mean the eval and the growth? Do you mean the advanced and the growth capped? The advanced is like Apex. So the advanced has a trailing drawdown intraday, and the growth account is more like Top Step. No trailing drawdown. Drawdown is calculated at the end of the day. Crawford, I'm up 1,169 on the new eval. Hey, lovely. Great work. Great work. Oh, exploit the vibe. I said never mind. Sorry, I missed that. I'd only do another account if they remove trailing stops. With who? Ironclad. I'm not sure who you're talking about. Yeah, that's the difference capped. That's why you pay that little bit more. But the 50K right now for a growth account, 35% off, and there's no activation fee. So I think it's sub... What did I just say it costs? Let's work it out. Yeah, exactly what Coop said. Trailing stops go away once you get past the buffer. Why with it doesn't matter who you trade with. Take it slow, get past the buffer, and then you can trade normal. That's what I was just talking about, how I trade Apex carefully, very carefully with a tight trail until I'm past the buffer. Then I try and trade it what I call normally, all right? I let the trades work. I'm more willing to let a trade work once I'm way past that buffer. It makes more sense, doesn't it? Let's find this right here. Okay. Calculate. Where is my calculator? All right, so a 50K growth account right now will cost you $90. All right, $90. And there's no activation fee. That is the cheapest on the market right now with no activation fee. All right, so you pass that 50K, you've paid that one-time fee, $90, no activation fee, you're into the market. And you don't have to worry about a trailing drawdown intraday. That's why I think it's the best account on the market for newer traders. With Tradeify, that is. Okay, so if you use code FZT with Tradeify, you can get a 50K growth account for $90. All right, you can get an even cheaper advanced account but it's going to end up being more expensive because you're going to pay the activation fee and you have to worry about the trailing drawdown. Right, that's why I'm saying the best one for sure is the growth account, 50K account right now. There is not a better account on the market right now. There is not. Nowhere near. It's way better than Top Step. It is way better than Top Step because you're not paying an activation fee. Right? There's no like bullshit where you pass and then you have to pay more money. One-time fee, $90. Take your time. Make $3,000. Don't worry about a trailing drawdown intraday. Let it work. Yep, you can use Ninja. Yep, you can use Ninja Trader. You can use Traderify. Yep, you can. That's exactly it. So, like, honestly, there's not a better account out there right now. Jeff, thanks, Alex. Runner out at 19,690. What an effort. What an effort. Great work, Jeff. All right, starting to feel like a bit of a turn here. All right, bit of a kill candle. Here, notice the volume. Bit of a kill candle. We've taken out the liquidity. They might trade back down to here now. All right, I'm not interested in the market anymore. It's done everything I want it to do. Yes, it can keep going up and up and up and up because it's going to need a significant pullback to get me interested to try and trade back towards previous week low. But it's what a fantastic one. What a fantastic day. What a great day. What a great day. Jeff, where did you get long? Were you long here, 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 or here? One of these for this move. But what a great move. Now, if you were trading Apex or the advanced account, right, you would have done this and you would have had to lock in because you wouldn't want to give this back. And you'd have done this and you're locked in, and done this and locked in, and done this and locked in. Right? When you trade the growth account, you can trade them like when you're past your buffer. You get this move, still not hit the target. Maybe you take a partial. You add. You rule out, for example. That's how you trade it differently. Much easier to add to winners once you're past the buffer, or if you're trading the growth account. Much, much easier. Can you show us how to hook up Traderify with Ninja? Yeah. How to do it. You would go to configure, right? Scroll down. Just do a Ninja Trader one here. And you'd press add, right? You'd press add here. Rename it as Traderify. And then you would put in your username and your password. And if you want it on startup, you would click startup and you'd press apply. That's it. That's literally all you have to do. It's so easy. Way better than our trader. No bullshit like opening up another thing. Like, it's so easy. Super duper easy. Yulimar, Apex is super annoying with the activation fee. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I do all of mine on lifetime, but it is annoying. It is annoying. Yeah, I do the same. I buy lifetime and just make a commitment to yourself to not blow them up. Be like, I'm going to take my time. I've got these for life. Why is there a rush? Why do I care what this influencer made or this influencer made or this guy's saying he's made or this guy's saying he's made? How much money is a lot of money for you? All right, if you're a newer trader, this should be like the start of a side hustle for you. You probably, more likely, you have another job to start with, right? This should be like, how can I bring in some money? Does an extra $1,000 a month make a difference to you? Probably. That's $50 a day. $50 a day will do that. No. $100 a day. If you're consistent, that's $2,000 a month. $200 a day. You can see where I'm going with this. It starts adding up. 5 accounts, 10 accounts, 20 accounts. It starts adding up. There's a video on my YouTube on your road to $500,000 and $1 million by very low risk. Just go and watch it. It's how to scale Apex. The key is trading micros and going slow. That's the key. If you have 10 accounts and you are making $100 a day on those accounts, you are making $1,000 a day. You don't need to do more than that. Just go slow. Build up the buffer and then start to add in. Once you're past the buffer, you can look at making 2, 3, 4, $500 a day. You make $500 a day on 10 accounts. That's $5,000. You're doing it on 20 accounts. That's $10,000. That's $2.5 million a year. It's doable if you go slow. This is what I'm saying. There's no reason to be overly sizing up. The easiest way to F this up is to get, and I've done it. I have done it. If your ego takes over, if you're like, and I'm not going to say their names, but we've had a good chat about this with a few students recently. If your ego takes over, and I've done this personally, you're like, I'm in a rush to make money. I'm going to prove to everyone how good I can trade, or I need this money by this date, or I need this, and da 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 da. If your ego takes over, you will oversize, you will lose. If you can just get used to base hit, base hit, base hit, base hit. Prove to yourself you can make $50 a day. Then prove to yourself you can make $75 a day. Then 100, then 150, then 200. Then prove to yourself you can do it with 2 accounts, 3 accounts, 4 accounts, 5 accounts, 10 accounts, 20 accounts. Then watch how much money you're making 3-6 months into your trading career. Whole different ball game if you can go slow. Whole different ball game. You should be okay if you can stomach losing $100 or $200 a day. You're going to be fine. It's those of you who will not admit when you've got it wrong, right? And your ego gets in the way and you go, no way, I'm not stopping out here for a $50 loss or a $100 loss or a $200 loss. I'm just going to add into this loser. I'm going to add more. I'm going to prove to myself, and then bang, all those accounts are gone. All your hard work, gone. Because you weren't willing to lose $50 or $100 on a trade. This is why sizing down is important. My belief is if you size down, you should be okay losing. You should be like, yeah, I'll lose $50. $50 to make 100, sure. Not a big deal. The problem is when that number gets so big that you're not willing to press close. That might be for some of you $200-300. For some of you, it might be $500, $1,000. When you can't press close on that number, you have an issue, because then you're in major drawdown and you're probably going to make it worse. So if you size down, prove to yourself, A, you can take a loss, and B, you can close out that trade when you're up nicely. That's all you have to do. I say all you have to do. You have to learn to be able to do it. All right? And you've got to dig into your psyche. If I'm talking to you right now and this is hitting home, if you're that person that can't take a loss, right, or you are so adamant on making insane amounts of money, right? You might be in a job, I might be talking to you, you might be in a job that pays you 30 grand a year, 50 grand a year, 100 grand a year, but you want to make 40 grand in a day. What are you doing? What makes you think you've got the right to make $40,000 in a day from clicking a button? Why do you need to make that? Why are you in a rush to make that? The answer is going to be something in your psyche, something in your ego. You've either got a problem like you don't come from money and you really, really need that money. Maybe you've got bills to pay and you're desperate to get out of debt. Maybe you haven't had enough validation from people in your life. This isn't a dig. I'm saying this because these are things I've gone through. I've had to work through this with psychologists, right? If you have those issues, you are going to hold yourself back from delivering yourself good profit targets over a year, 2-3 year span, instead of trying to do it all in a day. If someone offered you an extra 50 or 100 grand for the year right now, would you take it? Of course you would. Why are you trying to make it in 2, 3, 4 days then? That's what you have to ask yourself, right? Slow down. Slow down. Best thing you can do. Size down, slows down. Catching up with chat here, sorry. Ranting on, but I'm just trying to help you all, that's all. Just trying to help you all. Let's see what you're all saying. What about my funded futures? Alan, I've never traded with them. I'm not a huge fan of how the CEO carries himself, but they are a good firm. They are a good firm, but I've never traded with them. You said Tradeify, you take profit daily. No, not with Tradeify, Calypso. With take profit, you can take profit daily. With Tradeify, you can do that once they move you to the live account. With everyone, you can do it once you move it to a live account. But Tradeify will pay you instantly. So once you put in your request to be paid, they literally pay you in like 2 hours. Yeah, exactly. Trend tree, baby steps. That's it. Yulamar, I started trading with minis, so going to micros is tough, seeing the amount so much smaller. But I'm working on changing the mindset and look at it at how much I'm not losing. Exactly. One of the big things when you start trading is you're so addicted to the profit. We all do it. We trade for money, right? So you get addicted to the profit and you forget the process. If a good trade is by the amount of R you get and you're not worried about the profit, profit will come later. Teach yourself good habits. Profit will come later. And that's why I advise, like, once you're consistently on one account, 2 accounts, 5 accounts, 10 accounts, base hits. I'm still not looking to swing for the fences. I'm doing $500-600 on each account. That's it. But stacking the accounts adds up fast. I'm not trying to make $6,000-7,000 on one account. That's how you lose, because if I've got that much size in, unless I'm adding into a winner and it's working really well for me, if I've got that much size in, it means I'm going to get absolutely wrecked on a flush. And in this market, we all know flushes happen quick, right? And they hurt. Imagine you bought the top here, 700, and you just got flushed down 50 points. That's painful. And sometimes it's quicker. And you've seen like Trump talk and us do, 100, 200 point flushes. You saw on CPI, 350 point print higher. I reckon on the Fed talk, we're going to do a disgusting move. Do I have an affiliate code for Apex? Yeah, always the same code. FZT for Apex. You can see it, bottom left corner of the screen. Should show you. FZT for Apex. FZT for Tradeify. Unfortunately, for Take Profit, it's Flow Zone. They won't change it. I don't know why. But yeah, all the links are down below in the description. All the links down below. But I appreciate using my code. Appreciate it. BU. I started trading last year. I was able to get to 20 PAs within 2 months. Only blew 2 evals, but I haven't been able to get a payout because I'm still learning. So I'm only trading 1 or 2 micros. Yeah, BU. That's fantastic though. That you've got 20 PAs there and you're taking your time. Right? If you get to the point where, and I don't know what size those 20 PAs are, but let's say they're 50Ks. Even if it takes you 6 months or a year to get those into the profit where you can take money out the market, you're going to pay yourself 20 grand on that. No, you're not. You're going to pay yourself 40 grand on that first withdrawal, on that 2K withdrawal, 40 grand. That's a year's salary for a lot of people. And then as you build that consistency and you're past the buffer, you're going to start taking that once or twice a month. Calypso, I appreciate the game you give out daily, way better than a lot of other people I come across. I thank you for the kind words, Calypso. I'm going to move this here so I can see you all while I'm reading these. Nice messages. Thank you. Activate. Rushing is a problem. Yeah, absolutely. Always a problem. It's always a problem in every kind of trading, right? Rushing to make money is a problem. Trying to make too much money. Also, rushing for the entry is a problem, right? Not waiting for momentum, chasing the market up, or guessing the top, guessing the bottom. Those are all rushing. Rushing are human problems we have. Exactly that. It exposes egos and impatience. Trend tree. Flowzone has made me and will continue to make this trading channel a feel-good trading channel. Oh, thank you. Is there a monthly fee on Tradeify? Let's have a look. I think it depends on the account you choose. So the growth accounts are per month. Yeah, they're all per month, not on the straight to funded. They are per month. They are per month. But 4 weeks is plenty of time to pass those. And if you need to spend more, to spend more. That's why most people with a 90% win rate blow their accounts. Yeah, exactly. Because if you've got 90% win rate, you're probably adding to a loser, adding to a loser, adding to a loser. And when it goes your way, you're taking the trade off and saying that you've had a good winner. BU, very good. $100 a day and you're out. Yeah. If you lose $100 a day, you're out. That's good discipline. Sorry, folks, just catching up with the chat here. That's me. I'm trying really hard to work on it. It happened to me yesterday. I feel like SHIT and I'm disappointed in myself. I'm trying just to take one trade, if a loser or a winner. That's right, Miguel. Just take your time. Take your time. Nate the Great, up $600 for the day and done. Nice work. Make this a YouTube short. This is real talk. Many could benefit from it. Okay, well, I will try. Might be too long for a short, but yeah, I'll try and do it. You're not a hypocrite, Miguel. Everyone goes through what you're going through. I guarantee you, every single person on chat has gone through what you're going through now, including me, trying to force their way into the market, trying to make too much money from the market, getting focused on making profit, and not focused on whether that trade should be in or not, whether we should be cutting that trade or not. It's not just you. Every single person on this stream has done that. If they are saying they haven't, they're lying. It's part of the process. Everyone's done that, all right? Don't beat yourself up. Remember, you must talk kind to yourself. This is the other thing, folks. It's fine to admit when you've done something wrong, but don't punish yourself. If you just sit in like misery, I did a video on psychology on this a few weeks ago. If you sit in that low frequency of like misery and pain and guilt and shame and you're beating yourself up, you are not going to be able to come to the market with a clear head and trade well. Admit the mistake, journal it, understand why you did it, how you got there, and try and fix it. Don't beat yourself up. All right, don't beat yourself up. Spartan, this thing doesn't want to drop. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's trying to drive higher. I mean, it's done a big run on liquidity. It's trying to drive higher. It might need a wash before going higher, but again, you know, I'd be a bit iffy here about the short. I know we've left a bit of an imbalance here, and it might want to do this, but I would think once it does this and cleans some of these out, it might come back here and go back upside for those CPI prints. So that might be why it doesn't want to drop. The other thing is, why do we drop? We only drop when people sell. So there's no genuine shorts in the market. And buyers, if buyers think the bottom's in, they're not going to sell. So it's just intraday. This is all intraday now. Intraday, maybe down here. Liquidity's here. This is resting liquidity. So how we act after that key. But remember, we're still in buy. Flow zones haven't flipped yet. We can still absorb all these levels. All the time we're above IB high. Remember, technically, we are in a trend bias upside. So I wouldn't be looking for a short here personally. It's not something, this goes against my rules, playing short here. Yulamar, is the growth 50K on Tradeify a monthly 90 or just monthly? Yeah, just, it's $90 a month till you pass. Once you pass, that's it. Sorry, that didn't make sense, did it? So you got 4 weeks. It cost you $90. If you pass it in the first 4 weeks, that's it. That's all it costs you. Done, finished. One-time fee, gone. That's very kind, Activate. Thank you. Yeah, it helps me. And to be honest, I don't make money like these other guys, right, from my affiliates. I make very little money. So any money I make goes back into like equipment for the stream or onto YouTube and stuff like that. It's I make peanuts. Definitely can't live off the money I make from the codes. Unlike PW, who posted his profits, making like $40,000 and $50,000 a day in affiliate money right now. It's unbelievable. Sorry, just saying goodbye to my wife. I'm going to go through all these chats, continue to go through these before I leave for the day here. Miguel, the worst feeling is being less than $300 away from completing a 100K eval, knowing that I should just have left for the day, getting overconfident, blew the account, feeling like crap the entire day, never doing it again. Yeah. What happened there probably is you knew you were really close to passing. So what you did is forced your way in to try and make that extra $300. Very, very common. Very, very common. Just remember, if the trade set up, you got to trade the setup in front of you. If it's not there, we don't take it. Jimbo, I recently completed the course and it's fantastic. Very informative, insightful. It really enhances this live session. Highly recommend it. Yeah, exactly, Jimbo. A lot of people don't understand. The reason I started doing the live sessions in September wasn't for, this isn't meant to sound bad, but it was built for the students. It was done for the guys doing the course, because if you've done the course, everything I'm trading live will make sense. You already know the patterns, you know the setups, you know the playbook, you know the weekly model, you know everything we're looking at. So it will make sense. It just helps pull the course all together in one go. But thank you for doing the course, Jimbo. Thank you for the kind words. I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you didn't mind leaving me a review, it would mean a lot. Jake Farm, how much am I up today? I'm up about $4,000 right now. Oh, I just zoomed down there and then lost everyone. So Coop's saying, yeah, I've been there, done that. Greed will kill you for sure. Exactly. Everyone's saying the same thing. Everyone's done it. Look, so it's not just you, Miguel. Mr. Slim, I've blown accounts a day before payout. Exactly. Happens all the time. I bought one from you, Game On, my guy. Thank you, Exploit the Vibe. Very kind of you. Hey, Spartan, I really like that. So Spartan saying we either earn or we learn. Quite right. We either earn from the market or it's going to teach us a lesson. That's exactly how to think of it. TR, great section of the course is the psychology. Psychology is strong in this one. Well, it's because I've got a Bachelor of Science in Psychology with honours. So that's probably why. Spartan. Yep, same plan. Yeah, exactly. How many days for payout? Sorry, Mr. Slim. Which firm are you talking about, my buddy? Which firm are you talking about? Apex, you need 8 days of trading, and you need 5 days over $50 green. Tradeify, you need 10 days and 5 days green. Take profit, same day, right? Same day. So you can trade one day, pull it out that night. Trade the next day, pull it out that night. Exploit the Vibe. What's the activation fee after you pass? On the 50K account for the growth, there isn't one. Yes, it's $90 one-time fee. There's no activation fee. Is there a consistency rule on the Tradeify growth account? If so, does it go away ever? I think the consistency rule is 35%. I will check that. It's either 30 or 35%, I think. I'm going to check that shortly for you. Does it go away ever? Yes, it goes away once they move you live. I don't think it goes away before then. They move you live after the 4th payout, I think. Indicator, I'm out, locked up, positive of the week. I appreciate the teaching, exceptional trading. Have a great week. Yeah, lovely work, Indicator. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being such a positive influence all the time. There you go, Miguel saying 35%. So Tradeify, 35% consistency rule. I think that's where I went wrong with Apex. I had 35% in my head as a consistency rule, and it's 30 at Apex. That's why I had one of those accounts denied. I was just a small amount short on one of them, didn't realize. You'd think they'd waiver it, to be honest. It's such little amount. Yep. Thank you, BU. All right, everyone. That was a nice little chat into lunch. Hopefully you all learned a lesson and it helped with your own psyche as we start to drift now back down towards these key levels. Right? I'm not really interested in anything for the rest of the day. Honestly, team, I don't think we could have got a better piece of the move than we did. All right. Really, really nice. Breakout here, breakout, pullback, absorption, and up we go. All right. That was the profit target. Anything over this, like we said, would have been a bonus to get up here. Now, I'm not saying we can't get up there the rest of the day, but got to ask yourself, if you got 100, 150, 200 points of that move today, do you need to get any more on a Friday? All right. Who cares? It's the weekend, right? What better way to go into the weekend than having a nice fat winning day and thinking, hey, I traded that well. I learned some lessons. And even if you had a harder day today, go into the weekend, be like, I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to kill myself. What I'm going to do this weekend is relax. Make sure you relax, all right? Kick back. Have a rest. Enjoy time with friends and family. Do things that make you feel good, right? All the things I say. I will think about if there's a video I can do this weekend. I think I'm going to do like a Tradeify versus Apex type video. I think that will go down well at the moment. Lots of you asking about that. All right, and we will go again next week. Same thing next week. All right, same thing. A reminder, next Friday, I am away. Should be here on Thursday. We have FOMC next week. We have rollover next week, which means we have triple witching next Friday when I'm not here. Please, in case I forget to say it next week, be careful on triple witching on Friday, all right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week will get funky. It will get funky. Everything's rolling over. It will get funky. Futures rolling over, options expiries, weeklies, quarterlies. It's going to get like a little bit jinky. All right. So we're going to be careful next week, especially back end of next week. We're going to be really careful. We're going to protect our profits. Love you all. Appreciate all the kind words. If you could do me a favor and do that feedback for any of you who've done the course, it would mean an awful lot to me. I'll be back Monday. For those in Discord, I'll check in later and also speak to you over the weekend, no doubt. Peace and love. Use hard stops. All right. Take care.